Hi, we may have some technical difficulties tonight due to a storm going on, but until that happens, we're going to try and play some. Started about an hour late, but we are here and we are ready to rumble. There are fewer of us than sometimes, but not so few that we aren't gonna have a great frickin' time. Yeah. I'm Emerson, your DM. We have Carly playing Evelina the Owlin. We have Jerry playing Imogen the Dragonborn. We have Trent, not Syntax, playing Trent. We have Trent playing Syntax the Tiefling.
Fuck, Syntax playing Trent. They'd be like, this character sucks. Can I have a new one?
Alexa playing Astrid the Dark Elf. I like how I said everyone's races, but not their classes at all.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Wizard, Monk, Artificer, and Rogueway.
What the hell?
Huh?
A rogue, but
Rogueway.
Rogueway, you could pronounce it that way.
Why would you do this to me?
Worth it. Be quiet, Rogueway.
Oh my god. Where we last left off, another player character... I just makes me think of Uruguay or whatever his name is from
Uruguay.
Yeah, the other one is a country. Uruguay.
Paraguay.
I was thinking Segway because that's the closest spelling.
Oh my god. Okay. Sigu.
Jesus.
Uh,
I can't have shit in this house.
What makes you think we're in a house? We are in a shack. If we played Mosh, we got the S. If we played Mosh, we got the S.
What the fuck?
What? I don't remember that reference, and I've played Mosh. Yeah, what is that?
The S, because it's mansion.
Oh, yeah!
Whatever, shack, house.
What is happening?
You don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this was like a very
mansion,
niche...
apartment, probably.
Yeah, mansion, apartment,
shack and house. There you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you'd like
you'd write it on paper and you'd pick
write
four
choices for like who are you going to marry, how many kids are you going to have, how many, and you go around.
Hang on. Besides Emerson, do any of you know what we're talking about?
No.
I know it, but I've never played it.
You never played it?
Okay, so we're gonna play
it. It wasn't popular to play it with everybody else.
I only played it because I had an older sister. So she played it with her friend. No, it's true. It's just
I'm the oldest person here, and you just made me feel like...
No, but my sister, it's not that bad. My sister's like 3 years older than me. It's you're 1 year older than me. Like, it literally is just that 1 year time gap of like, my sister learned to write cursive in school. I never had to turn in a paper that wasn't typed. You know, like there's...
like different hells.
Yeah, my sister had the option to turn in papers in cursive instead of typed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Never ever.
You guys never had to do that?
No, never learned
cursive.
Did
you learn how to write in cursive?
No, I can barely read cursive. Are you kidding me?
I had to learn.
If someone writes something in cursive, I'm like, cool, I need to decipher this now. This is a codex.
New cursive in classes.
I was forced to write cursive. I still know all of it.
I went to a hippie school. Oh, the cat zoomy. I went to a hippie school where instead of cursive, every Wednesday we had an hour of sustainability where we talked about how the environment is dying. And how to
now here we are playing Strixhaven.
So we were all like, let's get started right away. And then here I am. So last session was interesting. Our players...
This session was bullshit.
Our players did not remember the session before when they kind of unveiled a weird alien invasion. Not aliens, but it kind of is that vibe.
No, we didn't fucking know.
They unveiled a weird, creepy creature invasion that everyone's kind of overlooking, their brains helping them forget that these things are here. And then they forgot it. But this session, they learned that, or last session, they learned those memories are kind of saved to their sending stones through a process called, they are now items called memetics, which are kind of thought tools that magically help compartmentalize thoughts. Think of it as a save point for your knowledge. They can use an action to essentially store their thoughts in it so they don't forget. This was done by the Mind Mage, which they had told their past selves to find, and apparently they did. But obviously that Mind Mage doesn't want them knowing who they are, because their specific memories of the Mind Mage are missing.
I have so many theories on that.
You also have all of this. Nim, another player character who isn't here tonight. That sounded like I was throwing shade at people not being here. I just meant
only the strong survived.
So Nim has had been having some bad migraines that mainly seemed to flare up when on Quandrix's campus. Nim realized that these migraines were similar to the types of headaches he gets when his patron is trying to contact him. So he decides to let this individual in, even though he knew that it was a very different force than his patron. This turned out to be a mistake, as he kind of got possessed, walked into the middle of this magical torrent area on Prismari campus, and then proceeded to fold inside out and open a portal to something out of his body. Weird creatures started crawling out and attacking. The party fought them off, but Syntax was gravely wounded. And then they managed to, and it was really Nim's doing, fight off this sort of interloper in his mind. And in doing so, seal back up his body and close off this portal. Nim got some hints as to who this entity might be, but currently their mind is so fractured from the experience that it's going to take a couple weeks for them to kind of start remembering even who their friends are. That is where we are actually picking up. Nim isn't here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that Nim, along with the other characters that aren't here, they're taking Nim to the infirmary. They're taking him to Central Campus, while you lot deal with what's going on here. But if there's a scene that you guys would like to do before that happens, essentially immediately, we can. But I do know that in at least last session, people wanted to do stuff immediately after this. Another note is that within this Fury Gale, this tangle of magic... You're good. Don't worry. Within this tangle, life happens. Within this tangle of magic, there were two other students, Animo and Quintilius, who seemed kind of suspicious sneaking into this Fury Gale. The Fury Gale normally is relatively safe. It's just kind of a place for failed Prismari experiments and just wild magic. That's also why it was able to take on such a powerful form when Nim kind of started making a portal. You don't know how that would have affected, if that would have been as potent if it was somewhere else. But yeah, that is where we left off. Syntax got hit by one of these sort of desiccating bursts from these creatures, and it left one of... this section of his arm, like this top of forearm, that's what it's called. Forearm, upper arm. Emerson knows basic human anatomy. Emerson is human. But
100%.
Right? Essentially, a lot like a third-degree burn on the outside of your forearm, a good kind of centimeter deep, just kind of chalk-like lattice work of flesh is on your arm. It makes sort of the tendons, you can move it, but it hurts. You can kind of feel the tendons scraping on the inside of this chalky whatever. And if you push on it too hard, it'll crumble and fall.
Yay.
Fucking five of them, hand obliterates.
It is kind of that vibe. Think of it as the snap from Marvel, but the body is still there. Break. You know what I mean? Like the body's still there. It's just like it's lost color, but it's still body shape, and it's chalky as opposed to kind of brown dust.
Quintilius, I don't feel so good.
Oh my god.
No.
But Syntax did go down, but was able to kind of come back with the help of friends and the fact that we're out of combat. But Syntax, you are at essentially 1 hit point. You're not doing great.
Yay. 1. Okay, so this is right after everything just kicked off?
This is right after everyone is realizing Nim doesn't remember anything. You probably will say, does anyone want to, now that Nim is okay, does anyone want to tend to Syntax? Help him. Did anyone try to get Syntax up? Because again, it was obvious Syntax was in death saves. Doesn't mean that you have to, use a spell or anything, but for flavor-wise, is anyone around Syntax? What?
Does any of that group have heal?
Oh shit!
I was the healer.
Hold on. No, that's a really, really good point. Does anyone have healing?
Doesn't Ryza have some sort of healing?
I believe so. I'm gonna look at her sheet. I'm gonna look at her sheet. That's a really
that's true.
good point.
Ryza has healed Syntax before.
Ryza has healing.
Okay, then we can say that.
Okay,
because
so
I was like,
Ryza,
if it's nobody.
Yeah, if it's nobody, I'd make you do rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can all. What I mean by rolls is I'd probably have you guys roll medicine checks, and then Syntax would be unconscious until help arrives, right? Like, you also do have healing potions. I do believe some of you guys still have some. I gave everyone them at the start of the campaign, and I don't think we've really
the start of the campaign. Oh, fuck, what do we have?
Start of the campaign is now episode,
also,
friggin'
I know,
30.
I know, shut up. But I also do want to emphasize that certain magic items like healing potions, you guys can buy freely on campus.
We should have bought. We haven't had any for so long.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check Ryza's character. And now you guys just buy out all the stock. You're like, shit's going on.
Yeah. I definitely would say Evie would at least try to help Ryza with Syntax.
Ryza has healing spirit and no spell slots expended right now. So
healing spirit, that's the only healing they got? That's fucking crazy.
But what's nice is at least prepared. Because they are a druid, so they can swap out their spells. So essentially what's happening now is everyone's over near Nim kind of being like, do you remember me? Like, it's okay. Come on, let's get you to get help. I don't see any blue stuff leaking from his nose. That's Giuseppe. That's what Giuseppe sounds like. But meanwhile, there's this glowing golden spirit just hovering over Syntax, effectively stitching you back together. These pulses of divine light heal you 1d6 per round, and it can stay out a minute. So you can roll 10d6 and heal that.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a lot. I'll do that after. We're just gonna assume they're fine.
Yeah, we're assuming you're fully healed, but that arm injury is not. That is staying there. You took more than half of your HP in a single hit, which, as per optional rules in the player handbook, means that is a critical injury. You're going to have some lasting effect. I'm not necessarily using those rules for everyone unless it's super narrative. Syntax as a character is a little bit more fragile than others, quite literally. But yeah. What do people want to do? There's this big tangle of just magic that's still kind of blocking off the entrance, or I should say blocking off the path further into the Fury Gale. And on the other side, you remember you yelled to Animo and Quintilius to hide. So you guys probably are going to have to go in and get them, or else they're going to be hiding indefinitely. You guys rolled very high for that. And both of them are people who would hide if told to hide.
Syntax will kind of hold on to Evie and just kind of blink and kind of look around and go, What happened to Nim?
He's okay, but he doesn't really remember anybody.
What about everyone else? Is anyone else all right?
Is the tree still there?
It's breaking. No, sorry. The tree receded back into Nim. What's kind of remaining is, receded back into Nim, and it grabbed the creatures that came out of it and pulled them back into Nim. It was very gross. It was kind of like they just played it in reverse, right? From it like growing out, it was just reversed back in, and like, that's weird. Bodies don't move like that. But because the Fury Gale does respond to potent sources of magic, kind of this red aura, this weird kind of, almost think of a like impact crater where like the stone almost like dries up in a blasted shell. There's still this like magical barrier of swirling magic where the Fury Gale is responding to the tree that once was there. So you'll need to, in other words, roll an Arcana check to try and control that, move through it if you start looking for the two NPCs. Jerry, you're cursed. Oh
yeah, we have that.
Speaking of, Imagine, why were you out and about this evening?
It's a very good question. Why was I out and about?
I'm asking you. This is where you get to be creative. I'm gonna bring you into the scene, but like, why was Imogene out and about, and specifically, why was Imogene like exploring Prismari?
It's a very good question.
I will say this here. You.
Well, we got the walkie-talkies. We were telling everybody, right?
Yeah, and you were there for that, so they would have reached out to you. You were training with Killian, the son of the Dean Ambrose, the one that you've at this point you're actually pretty close with him. He's a surprisingly good guy. He just keeps his emotions close to his chest because he's not really allowed to feel them by his dad. But at this point, you're probably the closest thing he has to a best friend.
Hell yeah.
So just throwing that out there, you, which obviously infuriates Rubina.
Good.
Because he is objectively the best shadow mage that the school has produced in like decades. You get out of that practice. You're feeling a little emotionally wonky just because he hit you with a few hard spells, but nothing you're not used to. And you're getting better at defending it defending it as well. And that's when you notice that like your sending stone has a voicemail. Or more so, you weren't able to receive a message from your sending stone because you were busy practicing. You kind of get the lingering effect that someone was trying to contact you. You missed the message, but the potent magic of being able to respond is still there. As you pick up your sending stone, a rush of memories hit you, and you remember everything you experienced 2 days ago. Or about a week ago, technically. With this sort of wave of anxiety, you also get a little ping of who was it sending all the messages? Was it Syntax? I think it was K Earthina as well.
There's a lot of us, yeah.
We'll say here, I'm just gonna roll and we'll say you get a ping from Evie. I feel like Evie's the one person who actually didn't send out stuff because you were following people.
I mean, she reached out to Ryza, and because I think she was the first one, I think, and then she's like, "Hey."
Yeah. Yeah. So you feel this kind of like lingering. You can send back to Evie like, "Hey, sorry, missed your message. What is it?" And you do so?
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd be like, hello?
Okay. Evie, hello? In the middle of this kind of fury gale, you just get the, like, kind of mental ringing of your sending stone. And Imogene being like, hey, missed your call. What's up?
I mean, like...
You get, like, the screams back of like Fury Gale, Nim, no memory, remembered everything. Like with there's an owl screech in there, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot she's an owl. And in about 5 minutes' time, because you are a monk and your movement speed is disgusting, you find your way into the Fury Gale. And sure enough, from the outside, you can see this big circular, or I guess spheroid. Essentially what looks like an impact crater. And in the center is Nim and the rest of the group. The magic of this sort of crater shape is slowly regressing, but you can still see something very potent happened here in the Fury Gale. As you come running up, you see Syntax sitting in a corner with a few friends tending to him. He definitely looks like he has been put through the ringer. Everyone actually looks pretty... even if they're not physically injured, they look like they have seen some shit. Yeah. You also are remembering what happened the other day, so do with that as what you will.
All right. This is very important. We have to get a story together and agree on what it was. Because if you think saying a tree of monsters came out of Nim is all right, it won't be.
Imogene, that's what you hear when you come up.
I like to just imagine like Imogene at the credit that as Syntax is giving this like monologue thing. He's like, hey, hello.
Imogene, come here and help me up. Just like calling you over with, like, reaches one hand and just like, fuck, this hand doesn't work right now.
Oh no.
Imogene will come down.
Imogen helps you up by proceeding to grab exactly where you're injured to lift you up.
Stop it.
No.
Tie it around your waist.
What? I can't use this arm.
Have someone tie it around your waist.
Yeah, you see the desiccated, chalky remnants on the top of his arm. Very unsettling. Their skin is usually not like that.
No, don't touch it. It's not as important right now. Here's what happened. Nim's eyes went all black, and then he walked forward, and then all of this sort of happened. Creatures came out. Things went really loud. It was really bad. I would like to say I was not trying to hurt Nim, but I was. He was in a lot of pain. How do we want to deal with this? Because it's an issue. And I just want to know how much truth we're telling here. Astrid, you have to say something. He's your brother.
Astrid's just kind of kneeling on the ground and like hanging on to him. Does she still have the fear thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those fears are lasting until you take a long rest. So those, if you got a seed of despair, you have that until you take a long rest.
Yeah, then she's just kind of kneeling by his shoulders and just like cradling his head in her lap and just shaking.
Just because they're not here, I will say one of the other players does recommend that we should probably get him to a healer.
Yeah, that player's not here yet, so we're going to do this.
Yeah. I'm just saying so that has been mentioned, right?
Yeah.
They can offer to take Nim so that all of the players who are not here will
Lavinda's already flying over here. I told her what happened. So we have a tiny bit of time before she arrives and asks what happened.
Forgot about that, thank you.
Evie's also gonna try and start drawing out what happened, just so like whenever things forget, it'll be there. But hands are kind of shaking after that, getting that down as fast as possible.
It seems like our option is being very forthright about everything and dealing with what will happen with Nim later. Or it's hard to say what happened without saying it was connected to Nim.
So should we just say what happened then and see? We can trust Mavinda, right?
Yes. That doesn't mean it's going to go well for Nim. I also think we might as well just tell Mavinda what happened.
What can we really say without saying it?
Exactly. Plus, we have to figure out what happened with Quintelius and Animo, whatever that is.
Should we go searching now, or should we wait for Mavinda to come? If she's coming.
You got a message that
yeah.
she's on her fucking way.
She'll be here in a minute. We might as well wait and explain it to her. Maybe we can have Rise, Kaerthana, and those two can explain it while we go see the other two.
Perfect. Yeah, I will say, given just how she would make it a point to get here as fast as she can, right? Mavinda is, you kind of see her cresting the hill, two other figures in tow. It looks like it is Nils and Tavash are kind of on her trail.
Are they flying, running in?
They are magically propelling themselves forward.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Very,
I don't
like,
know why.
ninja, like,
carrying them both in her talons.
yeah, like leaning forward, the like, whoosh, you know.
Yep.
Mavinda's flying, obviously, but the other two are like doing these badass. For flavor, let's go fully into this. Tavash is like shadow stepping his way here, and Nils is doing the like arms crossed, leaning forward, like zoom, like effectively T-posing his way forward, but like more disappointed.
If at all possible.
Yeah, it's yeah. As a reminder, these three teachers are the ones that are kind of in on you guys trying to stop the Auric. They're the ones that, like, they kind of agreed us three are probably the ones that are safe.
I forgot we let Nils in on this crap.
Who's there?
He was there. Obviously, they all are like, he's safe because he's so annoying he can't not be. Is kind of the vibe you get from it. Like, they all put up with him, but he's damn good at his job.
Does anyone need immediate care right now?
What?
Does anyone need like immediate care that I can provide for right now?
No.
Like wounds. Bless you.
Thank you. I don't normally sneeze.
Your arm is kicking up a lot of dust as it crumbles. I hate to say it, but it's like you just vacuumed and you opened the bag to like empty it, but you didn't empty it.
Imagine, I'm going to be very honest. I've been trying to stand up this whole time and I don't think I can.
Well, let me try something real quick. And he's gonna... Let's see. I'm pretty sure I can still do this even out of combat.
He just fucking punches you back
shit.
up to straight.
No.
This better?
This better?
He does the Heimlich, it somehow helps.
Oh my god.
We can do like a hand of healing.
Gosh. What?
He's just gonna like gently like go over like the arm and do like a hand of healing.
It's strange. You watch as the chalky kind of flesh almost ravenously eats the magic of the healing. Like you've cast healing stuff before. Injuries essentially kind of eat the energy to rebuild themselves, right? This is eating it like that section of the arm is just missing, but nothing is getting better. It's just swallowing this energy.
Okay. Thank you, first off.
It's really unsettling from a healing standpoint.
Yeah. That's not okay. We need to get you out here as soon as possible.
I want to talk to Animo and Quintilius before I have to go sit in a hospital for the next few days. So
as you hear, as you're saying this mid sentence, so can we please? You just hear a ruffle of feathers and just like you feel the wind of like the forceful landing as Mavinda appears like right over your shoulder, like. She's intimidating as fuck. Like she's like 7 feet tall, like ready to fucking rumble. She has a battle axe in her hand. And essentially she's full paladin right now. Like the battle axe is gleaming. She's definitely put a radiant smite on it. Like she is ready to rumble.
Touches one of us and we just explode off into the
it's like she's about to go full like John Wick. Someone hurt her students, you know?
Holy shit.
Motherfucking dog.
Yeah, and personal. So she gets here. She's like looking around, getting ready to throw down. Her glass is still balanced immaculately on her beak, right? And then she kind of like processes like, oh, the fight is over. This is like people licking their wounds. The fight is over. Okay. You watch as she like tucks the battle axe like in her shirt, like someone might like pull out a piece of paper, and it just kind of like disappears, like putting it into a bag of holding almost. Like it doesn't fit physically, but like if someone might like pull out a quill or something, she tucks in an entire battle axe. Then she cleans herself up a little bit and then like looks down at she lands right by Syntax and Imogene while the other two professors go to Nim. She seems like she brought them because Nim, they both are more specialists with Nim.
To do with Nim shit.
Well, I mean, it's true. One of them is monitoring Nim and one of them has history with a Demagoth. So... they're going to deal with Nim as she kind of is with you all. She's like, what happened? Are you all hurt? I know some of you can heal, but my goodness. She looks down and sees your arm. What? My child.
We don't know. Something's very wrong with Nim.
She looks over and Tavash and Nils are doing the like eye checks, all that like kind of like have you been concussed, paramedic at the side of the road kind of checks. Astrin, I imagine you're not leaving Nim's side.
No.
So they are asking you questions about what happened. What do you tell them? Also, hold on. Evie, where are you? Are you with the Syntax group? Are you with the Astron group? Did you fly on ahead to try to find Quintilius and Animo? What are you doing? Just so I make sure not to move forward with the scene and exclude you.
I guess would have been near the Syntax Imaging group, waiting to see if anyone says about going to find them, she'll go and find them.
Okay, cool. I imagine so, especially because Imogene had got a message from Evelina, right? So he probably went to her. But okay, cool. So both Nils looks at Astron. Explain to me what happened here. Tavash just rolls his eyes. at how Nils said that, but then he's like, it is true, we do need to know what happened here. For a reminder and a refresher, this is Nils, our favorite, perpetually disappointed professor. And this is Tavash, our favorite ends justify the means professor.
Yay.
I like Tavash.
I know, we all love Tavash. Objectively, we all love Tavash.
We love them both because you need to have a Nils.
Yeah, Nils is a great character, but I'd hate him if I met him in real life. Okay, but yeah, so they look. They're both looking at Astrid, as Astrid seems the most composed right now to be able to tell them what is going on. Do you tell them the truth?
Have they moved Nim or just showed
they have
up?
not moved Nim. They're doing like medical tests, essentially the are you safe to be moved checks, right?
Yeah.
Checking for concussions, checking like what's your name? Can you tell me? Yeah, and so they've quickly realized he can't remember anything. He's like, what's your name? He's like, I have a name. It's not great.
Look at this spooky one, touches Tavash's like face.
Yeah, literally. He does remember his name. I will say he does remember his name. But he's like, oh, you're pretty. And like feeling Tavash's face or whatever Nim with no trauma is.
Oh my God.
Nim on a clean slate. This is Nim on a clean slate.
Holds up an inkblot.
Yeah, so it's kind of great. Like Astrid, on some level, you're seeing probably the most genuine version of Nim that's ever existed. But the caveat is, where the fuck's your brother?
Oh. If he's still on the ground, then Nim would still be kneeling next to him and still hanging on to him and not looking away from him in any shape or fashion.
Okay.
Yes. She's still shaking from the fear thing.
Remind me what your new fear is, because I rolled on the table and I didn't write down the ones you guys got.
It was a fear of like thunder.
Of where you are. Got it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, a fear of where you are. Yeah.
I would not say that she's the most composed.
Okay,
by any
but I will
means.
say then, because you are kind of latched onto Nim, it does make sense that they're kind of asking you. They do sort of see that you're in no place to speak. And Nils, in a surprisingly kind gesture, kind of places his hand on your back and starts guiding both you and Nim toward the exit. Let's get to a safer place. Yes, it's safe to move him. And I think all of us can do with a bit of a more controlled environment. I'm gonna have Nils roll an insight check. Oh shit, he rolled an 18 pre-modifiers. So, he's seeing like every flinch you make as there's a loud sound from the Fury Gale. Because again, it's twisting wild magic. There's thunder. It's essentially being in a thunderstorm. Just sans rain. You hear all of the sounds kind of muffle. Shut the fuck up. I knew someone was going to say it, Jerry. But as you, all the sounds fade as you tell that he cast Deafen on you. And he just sort of squeezes your hand and does a little, or he's technically guiding you, so I guess it would be your shoulder, right? He just does a little squeeze of like, I did this intentionally. Don't panic. Just this little look of like he's acknowledging that he sees that you're kind of the sounds are affecting you, but he's also not going to bring it like point it out to everyone, right? Does that
she's
kind
gonna
of
start crying.
yeah? And he doesn't act like he sees it, right? But he also isn't necessarily shying away at the fact that you're showing emotion. He's just staying there, a firm presence right kind of behind you. And you can feel his grasp on your shoulder, knowing that he's there. Surprisingly more supportive than you might have thought from Nils, but all very nonverbal support. Meanwhile, Tavash is borderline carrying Nim out, kind of arm over shoulder, supporting as they move out of the Fury Gale. I am saying, for the sake of just everything, that everyone else who's not in these scenes are following them.
Cool. Mavinda, there are so many things that are so wrong right now.
Please elaborate, Syntax. Do you want to go to a She looks around. Less chaotic place to speak. We need to get that arm treated.
We have to talk first. First off, there's something very wrong with many people at this school, and you don't even realize or remember it right now. None of us did. Looks over at Evie for help. What was that, Emerson?
My neck just made like a weird gurgling noise.
Oh.
I'm like, what is going on? I was very confused. I'm so sorry. That had nothing to do with you. I know.
I looked up and you were like, ho ho.
I was like, what?
not the response
No,
I
it's
expected.
just, it was a
from...
weird, I was like, what is going, okay. And I was afraid that people could hear it, so I leaned away from the mic and it just made it way more obvious. So sorry, continue.
Vinda, we're all having strange memory problems to start with. And I'm very worried that by the time we all go back to sleep tonight, we're not going to remember any of this tomorrow anyways.
She furrows her brow.
That is, first off, the most important thing. Because anything else doesn't matter if we can't get past that.
Roll me
Fuck.
a persuasion check.
I'm not good at those.
Could Evie help saying I made these
Yes.
and I don't know what these, I don't remember ever making some of these, and
Roll with advantage for me.
Okay. The first was... Oh, shit. They're both good.
Oh shit, that's good. Yeah, you're rolling manual today because tech has been being weird for you.
24.
Holy shit.
18 plus 6.
That's great. It was a DC 16.
Woo!
A DC 18 for more stuff. So, great job. You can see kind of in her eyes that on some level at least, she knows that what you're saying is true. And you're kind of bringing it to her attention, and she furrows her brow further. You're right. It's like I knew of this, but only by you speaking it out loud do I remember to worry. Perplexing. I don't know of any creatures that have that effect, nor spells.
This is what they looked like. They were gray, and they took place of other students when we focused or noticed them, and they all moved together. Syntax will go through what we kind of remember.
Okay, cool.
can Evie show any
The sketches of the snarl
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of it.
Oh yeah, the snarl thing. And
Yeah.
They flew up in the sky.
look at these bodies.
She
Telepathy,
is...
give me-
It was real.
Let's see. She's going to have advantage on a roll because you're explaining it to her.
And if you
First
look
roll
across
was an
campus,
8.
they're
No, that's
flying.
literally
Fuck.
what she's trying to do. Because you can see the snarl effectively from anywhere. Prismari is closer to Silverquill than other campuses. And she can't see it. She rolled an 8 and a 10. Even with her modifier, she can't see it from
Damn
here.
it.
But
What do your owl eyes see?
but she still believes you nonetheless.
I
This
think
is...
Jerry was saying something.
Oh, so sorry. Go, Jerry.
Yeah, could like telepathy like help like paint a mental image or no?
Does your telepathy allow you to communicate if you don't share a language?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes. Because if you don't share a language, I know they just have to understand a language.
Yeah, they just need basic.
Yeah,
Like they have to just understand the language.
a language, but not necessarily the same language.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is more so just a sign of like they can understand higher thought processes more than anything else. So in this case, I imagine a language that anyone can understand, right, is mental images. So you can share with her essentially all of what you've seen. But I
Yeah,
would
then you would
like
do
you
that.
to roll a wisdom check for me for that.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of an applicable skill, but I don't really think there would be. It wouldn't be intelligence. Actually, it could be charisma because it's an innate sort of ability, a force of personality. You're kind of pushing yourself into her mind. So, yeah, in that case, roll me a charisma check with proficiency. So if you're proficient with any charisma skills, you can just roll that.
Right.
Worst case, your proficiency right now is 3, so just add 3 to your charisma modifier.
Okay. Well, I have proficiency in persuasion.
Cool, roll that for me. $16.
16.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's definitely good enough to get at least rudimentary mental images, as if she had seen them herself. Not necessarily seeing everything through your eyes, but as Carly's character Evelina is showing pictures and you and Syntax is describing, and then you're sending mental images her way. All in all, by the end of this, she is utterly convinced. Now, the difficulty comes in what you were saying earlier, Syntax. I have to make sure I don't forget this, because even as we speak, I feel the moment this conversation ends, it will start to fade from my memory. I also have a sneaking suspicion I've probably had similar conversations with professors in the past. She looks at you all confused. Might I ask how you all recall?
Eva will hold up her sending stones like,
Our memories are stored in these.
May I? She asks for your sending stone.
oh, okie dokie.
As you hand it away, you do kind of feel that sneaking sort of itch of wanting to forget. I'm not going to make you make any rolls, but you can tell that kind of constantly storing your memories in this thing, and then it reminding you of everything that has happened is helping you kind of stay clear. It's still not perfect. You can imagine that a powerful enough magical effect will still get over that. But again, nothing's going to erase a memory that's stored in there. It just might make it irrelevant for a little while. As she takes it, you watch as she casts some sort of spell on it. It looks to be some kind of identification spell.
My memories, no.
It's identify. She's casting identify and detect magic. Teacher version.
Killer combo.
Yeah. She looks at it, furrowing her brow further. She's been lots of brow furrowing tonight. And hands it back.
How many brows she got?
I only see the enchantment for a traditional sending stone.
We were trying to find a mind mage for a while, and that may be how this happened. because we don't remember. This is all of our sending stones, by the way.
Mind mage. Like mark of recognition. The Auric.
Mm-hmm. That was
This-
my thought of why we don't know who the mage is as well.
Yes, it would make sense. Well, that would imply that this threat is not of their making. That
No,
this is a
for
common
once we
enemy.
have exactly a mutual enemy.
Well, one can only hope that I run across this mind mage as well. Though I doubt they will trust me with the however long it takes to make that. I imagine it's an enchantment on your mind, not on the stone.
Hmm.
And the stone serves as just a tool to open a locked door, a key, if you will.
Then, for the time being at least, this is our mess to clean up.
I hate to say it, but after this conversation, I have a feeling I'm not going to be very good use to you.
Then
No matter
give
my
me
best-
advice while we're here. We have reason to think that with the creatures going above the snarl, there might be somewhere back in Silverquill, but there's also something completely concerning with Quandrix.
You're saying that there's none on Silverquill campus proper,
Correct.
but they are all seemingly congregating in that direction to then ascend to the snarl.
Yes.
There's a It's not something I saw personally, but it was mentioned that there was something in the reflection of Silver Quill.
She starts pulling out a paper. I have a theory, but I need more information. Please explain that to me fully.
It's the exact foundation of the campus, except more so a twisted form of it. As I said, I did not see it personally, but this is what I was told by a friend.
A corrupted form?
Yes, like bones and flesh and type stuff like that.
That's essentially what came out of Nim as well as the black balm that we found. There was more of that, but this was not synthetic. This was pure.
Yes, this was found in the ink reflection, the inkwell in Silverquill campus, the center with the giant pond of ink.
She nods. Okay, so I am going to give you things to look up in the library. It's not my specialty, but it does seem adjacent to something that I at least, that I've heard of. It's a long stretch, but I found it years ago. She kind of stops for a moment. Strangely enough, she looks at the whole group and then kind of with a tentative, like, should I say it? And then looks back at Syntax. I believe I probably stumbled across it when I was looking up whatever map that I checked out but don't remember. One that you enlightened me in the past that I forgot. Apparently memory issues are something that I'm experiencing more than I'd like to admit. But nonetheless, it's something obscure like that. Knowledge that at one point might have been relevant, but since a paradigm shift in reality has been less so. She writes one word down. Look this up. Or technically one phrase. Abyssal corruption. And she hands it over. I don't know much, but there's a plane of existence known as the Abyss. It shouldn't have any influence since no outer planes can influence, but back pre-Calamity, there were instances where the magic of the Abyss on the material plane would corrupt a location and effectively create a tether to that realm. For lack of a better analogy, pull that section of reality into the Abyss. It requires a potent amount of magic, and I imagine, well, it shouldn't be possible. But given probably an even more potent source of magic, such as a snarl, maybe, just maybe, it can bypass whatever defenses have been protecting us ever since the Calamity. That's my guess. In that case, that means the thing that you're fighting is a demon. If you're familiar with the god Thazadun, he's considered well, some say he is the Abyss itself. Others simply that the Abyss is the product of his corruption.
Mavinda, we can't beat that.
No, but you don't have to beat it. You just have to eliminate whatever the root corruption is. Clear that root corruption, and the portal will close. Or the proto-portal.
So we have to figure out what's different now than a couple months ago.
And it sounds like it's centered in Quandrix. Sorry, Imogene, speak for me again?
We have to level the campus, is what I'm hearing.
I like your moxie, but no. She lets out a sigh of like, I forgot how gung-ho Imogen is. Like, you get that kind of vibe of like, I haven't interacted with Imogen as much. Oh God, I forgot. And then kind of like turns back to the group. No. This world supposedly has protections. I think that Spire that was removed from underneath Silverquill might have weakened those protections. That's probably the only reason why this corruption can even exist. Eliminate the source of the corruption, and with no more bleeding into our world, the barrier should take care of the rest.
What is there any classified information regarding Quandrix you wish to share with us?
She looks at the group and her eyes linger on Imogen a little bit longer. And then she turns back to Syntax. There is nothing about Quandrix that you have not already been informed of. But if something happened that the school is not aware of, most experimentations occur within the Arithmodrome.
It's a complicated place to get around.
Very. But, and I've been talking with some professors, she looks back at the two leading the rest of the group away, and we believe if there's a under Quandrix facility, like how there was under Silverquill, it probably will be accessed through the Arithmodrome. Perhaps that's where you're looking. Or perhaps Quandrix agents attempting to access that area did something they shouldn't have and released something long forgotten and trapped in one of the demi-planes within the Arithmodrome.
We'll look at it.
I will tell you that while I may forget this conversation, I will still come to students in aid. No matter what. If you have to make up a lie to get me to bring forces to Quandrix, at this point, I will tell you now, I will mobilize based off of any information your group tells me. You've proven to be quite resourceful and quite trustworthy, more so than many of my peers. So if you need backup, tell me the Auric are making a move or whatnot. And I'll be there. Only problem is if this thing makes me forget it the moment I arrive. But nevertheless, do still try to notify me. You're still children, still students. Apologies, some of you are not children. But I digress. My job is to protect you all and be your advocate. I would like to still do that, even if it's difficult.
Based on what we saw tonight, there are certain things are much more extreme right now. And I know you're not gonna necessarily agree, but I plan on making extreme choices if needed for this. This was beyond anything else we've seen.
She takes a very deep breath, and you can hear under her breath, she says, I'm going to regret saying this.
I was aiming to kill Nim tonight. That's what was happening.
I trust. And she looks Evie in the eye, Imogene in the eye, and Syntax in the eye. I trust that you all will do what you deem must be done. And I'm very, very sorry that you may have to make those choices. It is not something I want inflicted on anyone. I've been in that position, and it still weighs heavy on me.
Will be penalized if we did commit such a thing.
Everything is about context. Should you, I don't
Should
know,
it be life or
accidentally kill Rubina, she looks at Imogene with a very knowing look.
away.
It's
gonna be like,
yeah. And
Wags
if,
the finger.
You do the dog like when you catch a dog eating some
Yeah.
food, and then it just, if I look away,
What's in your
it's not
mouth?
true.
yeah, if I
Yeah.
obviously that will have to be punished. If
I would never.
it's all about situation.
Yeah, it's
If
like life or death.
unfortunately Nim, for example, this evening had perished, obviously we would have to look into it. But
Twisted into bone and sinew.
But you and all of your friends here are both trustworthy and numerous witnesses. You would have been fine. You would not have been punished. That
I want you to know that Nim is probably also... We didn't fight everything and save Nim. It just ended.
I imagine Nim is probably the cause of that. Also probably why he's a little scattered right now. Thazadun is known as the god of madness. If, God forbid, he had contact with that true deity, the fact that he's still breathing is remarkable. But again, no one has had contact with a deity in a myriad. I'd be incredibly, incredibly concerned if a true god had bled through. I also am intrigued at the implication of a Demagoth connection to the Abyss. As far as traditional scholars go, they were deemed a third category of fiend, not demon or devil, but, well, Demagoth. This would make them a lot closer to demons.
Vinda, that is far too academic than what I want to get into right now.
I'm sorry, I tend to fall academic when when things are stressful. Continue, Syntax. Apologies.
Oh, can you carry me?
She laughs a bit. She's like, Syntax, you're half my height. Of course I can carry you.
Then I guess we'll...
She lifts you up. We need to get that arm checked out. And she's carrying you like bridal style, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And it's effortless. Like you get the
Yeah.
feeling that to her, it's like carrying a dog. Like a large dog, but like still like a labradoodle.
Syntax is looking kind of like embarrassed, disappointed, and just like not engaging in the fact that this is happening.
But also like some part of him.
But
some part
also
of him.
needs it. Okay.
She looks at you all, and there was no one else here besides your group.
There is actually Quintelis and Anima are in the
Oh my brain. Where'd it go?
Fury
Hold on.
Gale?
Fury Gale?
they're in the Fury Gale hiding. We need to sell them.
So the moment you say that, she's walking ahead of you with Syntax in her arms. She just stops walking and her head does the full owl turnaround.
Oh god.
And she looks at you with a like I kind of got bitch slapped kind of look on her face. Like, God, that's so sexist. That phrase is so bad. But you know what I mean? Like that kind of just like the what?
They went in there and then we told them to hide. I don't know if they got involved on the other side, but they're in there.
She has like 1,000-yard stare for a moment, as then she just like, it's that like just this one moment she's aged 5 years. She looks down at Evie and then over at Imogen, lets out another sigh of like, she's going to talk to her therapist about this later, and then says, I'm very sorry to ask, but could you both please go in there and fetch them? You seem to not be as shaken as some of your compatriots, and well, Anima will take that very literally, and he will be hiding until told otherwise.
As Mavinda's telling him to like get them, you just see Imogen like pulling out rope and like, getting ready to throw it.
Oh no!
Imogen, it's magic. You can will it away. Try that first. Oh God.
Sure. Or rope.
She just has this like I picked the wrong person. Oh God, I picked the wrong person kind of look in her eye, and then she just turns her head around, starts walking, and then under her breath to Syntax, you hear, Imogen's gonna get you all killed one of these days.
I'm more worried about Astrid.
Then you'll hear, honestly, I'd be more worried about if something happens to Astrid.
It's all the same. Pulls out the fucking Witherbloom plushie and just is holding it while we go, I guess. And I guess we'll talk shit on the group.
Yeah, she's like absolutely being like, you do realize if Astrid ever dies, like, we can protect you from Urin as long as you stay here, is essentially what she's saying. Like, if Astrid ever dies, you all will be staying on campus. We won't let you leave.
Right.
Bro. It's like, sorry, Mom, I guess I live here now, so you never...
Yeah, and then she's like also telling Syntax, like, look, please bring back her body because we can maybe do some really good resurrection magic. That goes for if any of you die. She's like giving you the whole spiel of like, you are now the mom friend.
Syntax, I realize I cannot carry any of them, but okay.
Yeah, but she also knows that you would organize the group, right? Essentially, like,
I have to be the first aid trained friend.
Yeah, essentially, like, recover any body. Ashes count as a body, and and like, essentially this whole thing, and also like, try your best not to do ashes because they're the hardest to recover. Like
part of arm flakes off a little bit. Fuck.
Yeah, and it's like, and then she'll even emphasize, like, even if you can just get one full finger, right? Like, even if it's not the full body, if the rest of the body is ashes, if you get some full part that has flesh, It's better than nothing.
Oh,
Um,
this is
you
what
can
my
tell
life
that
is.
she's saying this arguably more to, like, she's trying to be helpful,
Inform.
but it's more for herself than for you, right?
Wow.
Because she has accepted that she's putting children in an extremely dangerous position. Or I guess not children, but students, right?
Oh, we're
So-
children.
So this is her like, the only way I can justify this is if they're completely prepared, because the teacher and me can't allow this, but I have to allow it. So how? Right? So this is her panic telling you everything you need to know. She's like telling you like the differences of like, oh, be careful because both Imogen and Evelina are not mammals. So you have to be careful. They have different internal body temperatures in case anyone like gets a fever. Like it's just, she's giving you way too much information.
Shit.
This is literally what Imogen's gonna turn into one day.
Syntax is just like laying on poof of feathers and just
Yeah, you
1,000
probably fell
yard stare.
asleep. Like, you,
Negotiating.
yeah, you probably fell asleep. It's surprisingly cozy. Like, she's 90% feathers, right? Like, even through the clothes, she's like a feather pillow.
You know
like,
what's sad is probably by the time we get to where we're going, she's not going to remember half the shit we talked about.
But you,
Oh my god.
Yeah, you do. I will say in the room, you do kind of have to tell her what happened like 3 times because she forgot, right? And so eventually, she writes
Just gets
like
a lazier and lazier story.
yeah, well, she writes a note of like
Fury Gale-ish incident.
yeah, like she writes a note to herself that like essentially excuses it. And so, and she tells you, this is what I'm telling myself, just so you don't have to keep dealing with me asking. After
say,
like
"Run
the
it down."
3rd time.
Just hold up the note.
Yeah, so it's like Fury Gale incident, yeah,
Okay.
duel gone wrong or whatever, you know.
I want to know what happened. Fuck, I can't believe that's what it gets turned into. What about
or
our other
training
NPCs?
session amongst each other, so like no one is in trouble for doing an unsanctioned duel, right? But yeah.
I need to know what these other 2 fucking NPCs were doing.
Yeah, meanwhile, Imogen and Evelina, as everyone leaves, you're standing in this like crater shape. The far crater side is still maybe 30 feet up. It's slowly climbing down. But to get into the Fury Gale, you'll either have to fly over that, climb over it, bust your way through, or will it apart. What are you guys doing?
So we could do the will apart thing, or I can tie a rope onto one of us and one goes in and see what happens.
Let me see. Let me see if I have enlarged.
Think of it as like a
On second.
gigantic 30-foot wall of paint. Like it's like liquid paint.
I'd probably be able to pull you off the rope better than you would be able to pull me off the rope.
Yeah, I don't have
I'm
my
not
spell
s-
to make me larger to help with that.
You can touch it and determine that it does feel liquid, but like kind of ooblexy, right? Where it's like if you hit it hard enough, it's solid. If you move slow through it, it's liquid. But you also don't know how deep it is. So like if you try to just walk through it, you could be walking through a lot of this stuff.
You Imogen, can you like climb really fast?
And yeah, climbing will be
Sure.
difficult.
Very fast.
But it is possible to climb, but it is going to be a very hard climbing check. Because essentially if you slow down, if you like don't sprint climb up it, it starts becoming a liquid. Gotta go fast.
Imogen's gonna fucking try.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. Roll me an athletics check.
Could Evie use like frostbite and cast like as he's climbing to like
Oh,
freeze
hell
it
yeah.
so that
Give
he
him
can?
handholds. That's actually really clever. I'll let you do it with advantage. It's DC 18.
Oh,
Awesome.
No,
Alright,
that's a-
no.
Oh my god, you have a -1.
No way!
no!
That is a double crit fail. That is
It was not a crit fail.
Oh, you're right. It's 2s, but you have a -1. You try to climb it. You get about a meter up, and then you like slip, and just your head gets stuck in it as you like slowly slide back with just your head stuck in it. And like halfway through, you stop like resisting, so it's just like this limp head. Like limp body, just
like trying to grab
back
it,
down to the ground.
just slowly falling.
Yeah,
Seeing him not move, Evie's gonna panic and try to
and
like.
so it's like yeah, you stopped moving. Evelina thinks you like drown in the
fucking
paint,
drown.
but you're just like, there's no point resisting. I just save my energy. I'll get to the ground in like 15 seconds, and then I'll just pull out my head. And sure enough, you do. Evelina had a little heart attack, thinking that another friend needs to go get medical attention. But yeah, Imogen, officially climbing ain't gonna work. It also, weirdly enough, tasted like raspberries.
What the fuck?
I feel like you've said that.
I think I have for the Fury Gale before. Yeah, Fury Gale is relatively raspberry in flavor.
Okay.
It's Prismari, it's art, everything, it's all the senses.
Sure. Sure.
Yes.
Um,
I'm set. The one time I don't have enlarge. And
no, it's incredible. I love that Evie could just fly over this.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Evie's being a trooper, sticking with her other dinosaur adjacent friend. So Imogen, what are you gonna do now? Again, you know now that you can put a vital part of your body into it and pull it back out and be okay. But
I still have the rope idea.
oh my god.
Okay.
Do you want me to go in, or do you want to go in?
I mean, I can fly over, so I could go in if you want.
Well, I figure if we have the rope, if one person goes in, we can just pull them out.
Through the squishy part?
Yeah.
What?
You're actually like. Let me take a look, and Evie's gonna like go fly up to see how thick it is, just to see if she can tell.
So it kind of looks like, I don't know the proper way to put it, but like, like rubber or something, a skid mark where it'll like create the like ridges, right? Like if something pushes into it and pushes the stuff forward. So there's like a few little bumps. You think in all of that, it's probably about 40 feet that you guys would have to get through if you're walking on ground level. Which makes sense. It's about 30 feet high. So what is interesting is on the other side, it seems like the surface is a little bit more solid. Like you might actually be able to kind of walk up it mostly on the other side and hop down. Which also could prove a little tricky breaking through it if you're walking through it, right? Like it has a slight crust to it. So you have to push your way through that a little bit. But other than that, you think you could walk through it. It's just you're going to have to hold your breath.
Or what if we climb up and go down a really slow slime slide?
Yeah, literally. That you can do. Is that the problem is the climbing. Once you're up, getting down the other side is easy. Yeah. Do you want to roll a perception for me?
Perception?
Yeah, to see if you get more information than what I told you.
Because Evie's so good at that.
Yes. It's walking through Trix Yogurt Cup. That is absolutely what it is.
God damn it,
14. Yeah, I mean,
It's so true.
those are your options, right? Climb, walk through, and
I love how lame what you're doing is.
yeah. Imogen also is like your head is slightly dyed a different shade. Your head is just a slightly different shade of green.
Oh my god.
But
Incredible.
Evie, it is pure magic. So maybe you can do something with magic. Again, the Fury Gale responds to emotions and events. So a good enough arcana, like you could maybe try to go full Moses and part the sea of yogurt, but who knows?
She has mage hand in case you use that hand.
Yeah.
Please stop giving so many good drawing ideas.
No, if you don't draw, honestly, I want someone to animate Imogene just sliding down the wall with his head.
That's our new technical difficulty. So
Yeah,
just
just a
that
limp-
from the top
yeah,
down, and then it resets.
Yeah, just his head there, limp body, tail twitching a little bit.
Difficulty, just him fucking sliding.
It's the look of like a cat who gets themselves stuck in something and then gave up resisting, so they're just hanging. But yeah.
Holy shit.
You should have just tried to dive through it.
Just the tail
man.
sticking out the back. Yeah, you tried to go too
Legs.
fast, so it reacts like a solid.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah. So yeah, you can maybe part this. Let's see. You'd have to roll an
Okay.
Arcana check for that.
Arcana. Okay.
You could also maybe try digging your way through. You haven't tried that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's
I
liquid.
want to try something after this.
Oh god.
Okay. So okay,
This
so
wasn't supposed to be this difficult, but also
It's fun though.
it's great.
That's D&D, baby.
That's an HDMI cable, honey. Thanks.
Oh no.
It's plugged in too, so like she'll get a shock. That's the thing. She only likes the parts of cables that you can plug in. She doesn't chew on the rubber part, only the metal
What the
tip.
fuck?
'Cause it's
She's a little
spicy.
lunatic.
Because it's spicy.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Holy
cool.
shit!
Evie,
gosh.
you're like, oh,
Fucking Moses.
Right?
Oh.
Use the
you
mage
just
hand.
like you just like with one finger do this, and the whole thing just flattens and is gone. It's just
Oh my god.
it makes a
Alright.
like, and then it's just
God
gone.
damn it.
I will say, because it's a crit and this is hilarious and for no other reason, it's kind of loosely wedge shaped, right? So like folds down and like this, but just a little bit of stuff like squirts out the end, right? Like a pipe bag like thing.
Oh my God.
Just enough to completely cover Imogene.
Yay.
So like he is just soaked in it. Like it just like full on boom right in his face. Yeah. And this time, every place that the ink hit him has had its colors inverted. So he kind of looks like a half like inverted filter on a phone, where like his front half is inverted, his back half is not. And like there's weird splotches. There's like one area that it didn't hit on his face, so like that's still green. The rest is like, what's the invert of green again? Whatever.
Orange?
Yeah, the rest is like orange. His shirt is now like blue instead of red. Like it's all because you were
Oh, it's pink.
yeah.
Opposite of green is pink.
Yeah, so like you're just a bright pink dragonborn on the front half now. Yeah, and again, your head is a slightly different shade of pink. Yeah, it should recover, but yeah, as of right now.
Evie's gonna stare up, be like,
You want me to fix that?
You did crit, so you can fix it if you
because she was
want.
just gonna do
Please.
prestidigitation, just get any ink, all
I
that
was
off.
like gonna wipe it off. It's like, please.
She'll do prestidigitation and see if the color's like,
I think you look cool in pink.
Yeah, I will say, because of your crit and the prestidigitation and all of that, it's kind of like a color-changing straw. Imogene is slowly changing back to his normal colors. Like he's, a temperature-sensitive scales, Yeah, so he's slowly fading back to normal colors. But
My
he's a
earrings, I
mood
think, are
ring.
the only pink.
What was that?
that?
Sorry. I spoke
My
over you.
earrings are the only pink I think I need on me.
But yeah, this path is clear now. And the rest of the Fury Gale is just confusing. You're trying to find them. What do you do to find them?
Evie would probably just shout out like,
Quintilius, animal.
just
Imogene's doing like a telepathy shit where he's just trying to shoot you 30 feet different directions. Be like, hey,
He's just radar
what are you?
pulsing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
pretty much like fucking echolocation type shit.
Okay, yeah, fuck it. That's gonna make it way easy for both of you. Roll investigation checks for me. Not perception, because you are digging through magic. There's like at one point a door floats by and you're like, I'm gonna go through that. You step through it and you're like 50
14.
feet up in the air. And you're like, I'm not gonna step through that.
This feels like the Winchester house.
Yes.
Oh my
It's
God.
wild magic. It's just wild magic. You see some flumps like float by, see you scream and start floating by the other direction.
Those are the ones with that one woman.
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's the same flumps that were summoned by Kaerthana. Yeah,
Shit.
you guys have enough. Yeah, they are actually telepathic. So Imogen, you know for a fact it's the same flumps.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is high enough that you both find them after maybe about 5 minutes of searching. They really worked their way into the middle of the area. And then you do find them because of Quintilius's very bright red hair. You just see like sticking up over a little mound as he's like peeking over to see who's calling our names. And then he's like, oh, thank goodness. And he like tries to vault over it to get to you guys, but like it doesn't look cool. It's a little too high. So then
Does
he
he
just like
trip?
goes around. Meanwhile, Animo vaults over it just fine. Which is impressive because like it was way over his head. But like, yeah.
I wanted to see him eat shit.
You can see Quintilius like kind of like glowering a little bit, but not saying anything. Like, you know, he doesn't like being one-upped, but that's fine. And they both come out. You can see Animo is very concerned about whatever's happening. He's not good at hiding his emotions, where Quintilius is trying to act cool. But you can tell that he's also a little frazzled just because they could hear whatever was going on that other side of that, and it didn't sound great. They come up to you both. Where's everyone else? Syntax is the one who told us to hide. Where is he?
Syntax is getting his arm repaired.
Oh, did he break it again?
More like disintegrated.
Oh, well, at least he'll just rebuild it.
You know those like skeletal structures we see in class sometimes? It's like that with a few tendons on it.
Oh,
my
shit,
God.
it was his normal arm.
Yes, flesh.
Typically when he repairs, it's because it's his, Oh, well, I mean, he'll have a
this
cool
is
little
like the
arm
little amount of
plate,
flesh he has left.
right? He'll have an arm plate. Is the hand at least going to remain?
I mean,
Oh,
if he still has the arm, sure.
Well, this fucking sucks for him.
Are you ready to go home, little rooster?
Both of them look at each other, and then Animo says quietly, I think he's talking about you because the red hair. And Quintilius like turns back to you with the dawning realization that you were talking about him. And then he's like, Rooster, I'm a peacock, excuse you.
Peacocks are blue.
But peacocks display their plumage. I'm
Sure.
Prismari.
I don't see red on a peacock, do you?
Okay, well, I mean, come on. It's got blue eyes.
Yes, you're very pretty. What do you want to hear? Are you ready to go home or not?
And I want to know what's happening. But yes, Animo, you need to get back to the freshman dorms. First,
What are
your
you to do?
dorms.
What are you on a date or?
No.
Animo blushes profusely at this. Quintilius just overtly scoffs. He's like, please.
Well, that's
He's
not
a
a good sign. It's a bad
child.
date.
I'm sorry,
No,
Imogene. You were speaking while I was speaking, and that's not allowed. What did you
Sure.
say?
Oh, okay, sure. If we're going by manners. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, Animal, are you okay?
Quintilius is like, "Ugh, I forgot how abrasive you are, Imogene. While he nurses his wounded,
Plumage.
yeah, as he preens in a corner, Animo just sort of lets out a shrug. He's like, I'm fine. It just didn't sound very good over there. There were I would say it was roars, but that makes it sound too natural.
Yes. I mean, you could probably give a better explanation. From what I know, he's more like a bloodbath.
Is everyone all right? I mean, Syntax hurt
I
his
mean, for the
arm,
most
but
part.
okay, no one died.
No.
No. One still has a pulse. They're just sleepy time right now.
What about the others? There's more than one person.
Oh, they're fine. They walk.
Holy shit.
Well,
Animo just
everyone-
looks more nervous after Imogen spoke, not less.
Evie would try to like say everyone's okay. Just some people got a little bit hurt, and Nim kind of forgot some things, but the teachers are taking care of them.
Oh, okay. Forgot things? He
Yeah.
looks over at Quintilius, and then Quintilius just gives a shrug. That's okay. Is he gonna remember them?
I think so. The teachers are gonna figure it out. I think they're taking him to the infirmary
He's not
right now.
gonna be like Aurora, right?
I don't think so. Well, it was a spell more with Aurora, but this was something a little bit different.
Quintilius goes to Anwar. It's like, yes, it was a mind mage. Ooh, like they've obviously talked about like the mind mage that got Aurora, and you can tell Animo is afraid of it. And Quintilius is just kind of being a dick about it.
She's gonna go slap his knees, like,
Yeah,
Stop it!
slap his knees.
I will take your kneecaps.
I forgot that that's like your height. And you know,
Everybody's kneecap
Animo's
asshole.
doing that like very much so, like younger brother being kind of teased by older brother kind of look. And Quintilius is like, oh, it's fine. He knows I just give him a hard time. I always
Do you know much
emphasize.
about mind mages?
What was that about mind mages?
Do you know much about mind mages?
I've had this conversation with Syntax before, but I guess he doesn't. Well, who am I kidding? He's not one to share.
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen him in like weeks.
Yeah, that's also fair. You're not one to have free time. Yeah, well, I am intrigued by memory magic. It is an area that I would like to learn about. But am I capable in it? Not particularly, but it is interesting. Things like memetics and whatnot are, well, a newer discovery, but I am fascinated by them nonetheless. Animo will pipe in, being like, memetics, yeah, okay, that one I know about. He told me all about those. They're like these things that let you remember stuff because they unlock a part of your brain. Like, they're not magical, but they do stuff for you. Right? Yes, good job,
So it's
Animo.
very much like a tool.
Yes, precisely. It's a mind tool. I've tried to make one. It just gives me a migraine. Oh, sorry, a migraine. Yeah. That's canon. He corrected himself to say me
Yeah,
brain.
I knew. Yeah, we all know.
Shit.
Anima will roll his eyes at this. Let's get going. It's late. If they catch me that I've snuck out again,
Oh yeah, speaking of that, what are you two doing in the Fury Guild this late at night?
Yes, if it's not a date, what is it?
they both look at each other and you get this feeling that they're both like, we trained for this moment kind of look between their eyes, right?
Oh my god.
Like they're not good at hiding whatever they're about to say, right? And then Annabelle turns back, we're training.
For
Fighting.
fighting what?
He looks at you like, for lack of a better term, like a you're an idiot kind of look of like,
We knew that.
the orc attacked last year and like then the snarled itself into existence. Like it's not safe. And because I'm a first year, I don't really get to learn any combat magic. And he's kind of bad at it. Hey, we figured we'd try to improve. And the Fury Gale's nice because in certain areas, you can attack certain areas and it'll kind of attack back. Over here, look at this. He like brings you over to this area where like there's very much so Dr. Seuss kind of like tubules like just sticking up. And he's like, okay, watch this. And you see him kind of like create almost this like fractal moat in his hand, this kind of ball of twisting lines and almost equations. And he kind of throws it, more magically propels it, but out of his hand at one of the tubules. It hits it, and the like bulbous top like kind of shrinks down into the ground, and then with a whoop-thump, like a blob of goo like shoots back at the same speed that he shot in his spell. And then you see him like wave his hand and cast shield to block it. See? So it's kind of helpful.
So it's much like reflex training.
Yeah.
So it's like a giant arena.
Yeah, I mean, and every once in a while, if you really focus, oftentimes if you work with someone, you can kind of influence the area a little bit. So it makes a great training ground. Also, if you cast a big spell, no one's gonna question the explosion because this place just does that. I mean, it's the reason why everyone hosts the illegal duels here.
Illegal duels.
Oh, you don't? He realizes he said something he shouldn't have, and then Quintilius, not
That was
nearly-
Animo who said that?
That was Animo who said that. And then Quintilius rolls his eyes big. He's like, really? You don't know about those? Rubina's already competed 3 times.
Interesting.
It's, there's a little dueling club on campus.
Is it like real dueling or sparring?
I mean, it's sparring. You don't, like, kill each other, Imogen. I know you want to kill her, but, like...
That's probably... Why does everyone keep saying that?
Because it's obvious.
I mean, she is very mean.
I mean, it is also true that she obviously wants to kill you. That doesn't mean that, like, either of you are gonna do it. But if one of you just died the next day, the other one would probably celebrate. It's obvious. Rivals.
I mean, I don't know if I'd celebrate. It's not like her death would mean much to me.
Ooh, that makes it even better. That's like, oh, you don't even matter. I bet Grace would have loved that little bit.
More so, it's after a while you kind of become unfazed.
Well, that's less exciting. But yes, students who have differences they want to settle or just prove that they're superior to another student sometimes duel. It's the second Tuesday of the month. There's typically a duel.
So no.
But because Tuesdays exist in this world. But
Tuesday.
it's just because I refuse to make up days because we'll all forget them. Tuesday, yeah, that is what Tuesday is.
God damn
Spelled
it.
Chue. Tuesday. And Thursday. Tuesday,
Tuesday in
Thursday.
it, bro.
One
Shirtless.
day,
Wednesday.
Men's Day? No, not Men's Day. But
Men's Day.
Thursday. Freedy is Fridi. Freedy. Saturday is the same thing. Di. And
Wumbus.
yeah, and
Something
Wumbus.
completely different.
And Wumbus. Okay,
Oh,
Now we only
I
have to
hate
need
this.
one.
I hate this. Sundi, yeah.
What is this conversation? Are you guys
like
still
how-
talking to them?
Yeah, sorry. So they're like, yeah, so it's not really official, but it is where people go to settle their grudges. I thought she would have challenged you to a duel here a long time ago, but
We don't really talk.
well, I also think she didn't challenge you
has a
because she
script to
knows she'll
follow for us.
lose.
Not to.
She only
At
challenges
least she
people.
knows her limits.
She only challenges people she thinks she can beat.
That's actually really pathetic.
I mean,
It's like picking on the weak.
Animo says very quietly, well, I mean, it's Rubina, so... and then Quintelius is like, Animo, did you just throw shade? Oh, they grow up so fast. Yeah.
Could Evie have done like an insight? Because seeing that face that we rehearsed this just to see if they are telling the truth
Yeah,
or
go
are they
for
just.
it. Go for it.
Just like. No.
That's a crit
Nah.
fail. I mean, the problem is that whatever I say here, you won't believe me because it's a crit fail. But yeah, they're telling the truth. Like, as far as you can tell, there's nothing that they would hide with that. The problem is that would that have been the same result you would have gotten if you had succeeded? Maybe. But you'll never know. Now you'll be paranoid for no reason or every reason. You don't know.
Evie would
Along those
squint
lines-
and just be like struggling there. It's like, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, just the thing is that they both are the type of person that probably does have to rehearse the lie. But also, you got a crit fail, so you don't necessarily know that bit. You're just like, oh, they just made eye contact before. It's
Yeah.
not,
Would Imogen have picked up any discrepancies?
you can roll insight.
Evie was gonna say to you, how do you guys know each other? If Quintelis, you're over at Prismari and Amino, you're new. How'd you?
Okay, so Imogen did pick up that little look between each other, right? I'll say with a crit fail, Eveline didn't really pick up the little look.
She's like, wow, they're really forthright.
So Imogen, it does seem like they're not lying, but that also doesn't mean that there's not a live omission somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there's information that if Evie rolled an 18, I'd be able to give, but Imogen rolling an 18, I can't.
God damn it.
Because there's information that Imogen doesn't know. Player-wise, Quintelius knows that Animo is the Animus theorem. Imogen doesn't.
That's fine.
That look could have very much so been that Quintelius revealed to Animo that he knows the truth about Animo, and that could be why they're training. We don't know. Quintelius was told not to reveal it, but it seems like there's an ulterior motive to why they're training, not necessarily an ulterior motive to, not necessarily that they're not training. But again, possibilities for that ulterior motive, Imogen himself might not know. But it just seems like a little bit more than just the world's dangerous. But yeah. And then Evelina just asked, how do you guys even know each other? Quintilius is like, oh, easy. I ran the booth for the Dead Languages Society at orientation.
Okay.
And I'm really good with languages. Yes, he is. It's quite infuriating, actually.
Were you not orientation anymore?
What? Quintilius
Were
looks
you
at
even
you.
at orientation animal?
Oh, Animo. Animo's like, I mean, yeah, I was. I ran into Syntax. He threw me at Zimini.
He threw
Hello?
you.
No, I mean pretty much.
That's a bit harsh.
I mean it was okay. He didn't throw me, but it was like a forceful guide.
He
It's the
just
emotional equivalent of throwing me, though. He says, like, with a slight pout. But yeah, I mean, Zimini's nice and all. So I guess it worked out, but still, like, I went to him because I recognized him, and then he just was like, hey, go over there. But yeah, sucks about his arm.
They're taking a look at that too, so hopefully it'll be okay.
Maybe we can help him. Quintilius is like, no, Animo, neither of us are healers. Yeah, but I mean, we could at least, like, say, hey, get better. Right?
If you want to make a card, maybe he'll appreciate a card. A like get well card.
Animo's like, I'll do one better. And then he starts just doing something as you guys are walking out. And Quintilius is like, oh god, we've started it again. And by the time that you guys are out, Animo has a extremely detailed, effectively like origami crane, but made out of like fractals and little like shards of light. And then he kind of like lets go and it like flaps around him. And then he like directs it to fly over to Evie. You can give him that. It should at least keep him entertained.
Gonna hold it like, I'll be sure to deliver it to him.
It like pecks at your hand a little bit. It doesn't hurt,
Ow.
but like
Was it say ow, ow, ow?
yeah. So I'm gonna they walk through like the crater of your fight. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to bed now.
You want someone to walk you back to
No,
your dorms?
I'm good. I know the way. You guys keep your heads down, okay? Don't yeah, just keep your heads down.
Would we not run into something if we don't look up?
He looks roll an insight check.
Insight?
Insight.
That is a naughty 20.
Animo knows what the fuck is going on. He sees those shit. And you think he's seen those things for a long time, have probably tried to talk to people about it, and no one sees them. So at this point, he's literally just telling you, like, hey, just keep your heads down in a, like, stay safe. He knows what's going on. He remembers what's going on and has probably had lots of conversations where he's been gaslit.
Imogene's gonna telepathically link and say, you'll see them too. You know what's going on.
You hear a telepathic link back. Don't let them know.
No,
They won't hurt you if you. They won't hurt you if you don't look at them. They just. They've already fed enough, so now they're just trying to stay hidden.
So you mean like they fed on those who are transparent?
How are you remembering all of this?
The whatever the fuck that thing was you talked about the memories in the
He gave you a
magic
mimetic?
fluid. Well,
You didn't tell
it's
me.
more so like I don't know who did. I just know that
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, who's he? Who is he?
I don't know.
You know he, my mage.
He says out loud, I have to go. I'm sorry. Bye. And then he runs away.
Stay safe.
It's like, I didn't
at 30
realize how
feet like
late
he's
it is.
running. Imogen's gonna be
Bye.
like, expect the call later.
And then you just hear, I fucked up in his mind, just like backing you. I fucked up.
Imogen's gonna basically just quickly summarize all that and feed it to Evie's mind.
Okay.
That way Evie will know. Yeah. Imogen just kind of realized that to Evie just so she knows.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Quintilius is just right there next to you guys, being like, he's a weird kid. Like, he just ran off. Ugh, I'm trying to keep him alive, but my god, the kid's strange. Such an easy target for bullying.
Are you bullying him?
No, but he's a very easy target. Even I can see that.
I mean, almost anyone here is an easy target for bullying if they're academic.
Hey,
He's just not even going to respond to that. Like, that's a thought that didn't come through in his mind. Like, he didn't think about being academic as an easy target for bullying.
Oh my god.
wait, what is that supposed to mean?
It's like, that's like saying being artsy makes you an easy target. Or
Hey,
being in theater.
Yes, it was.
What?
Holy shit.
And then you seem to have like shook his world because he's gonna walk back to Prismari like in silence. Yeah. The following. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, Evie will say like, hey, if you want maybe some help with like training, like so he can get different like types of like attack with different types of people. Maybe we can help.
Eventually, I will say real quick. I'm assuming you guys part ways at Central Campus. As you all head to your dorms. Are you saying that when Imogen is still there or not?
I suppose yeah, just to put up like with other people around. Like yeah.
He's like, yes, I mean, I'd have to talk to Animo, but I don't have a problem with it. I also know that you lot can handle yourselves in a fight.
Yeah.
So-
Right.
But I'm a little nervous Imogen will accidentally kill us.
I'll just improve your mental and physical fortitude.
He just
For
like
your own
squints at
discretion.
you. I'd like to not have my bones broken. That is one
I'm
of
not
my
gonna break
caveats.
it. It's just more so the pressure of it feeling. I know how not to break a bone.
Okay. That makes it sound worse, honestly. That makes it sound like the people who are like, I know how to get information out of someone. And what they really mean is I know how to torture someone. That's the vibe that statement just gave, Imogen. I just want you to know that's the vibe you give off.
Sure. I mean,
Nope.
just being honest.
I'm not even going to listen. Good night. I know you're going to say something that's going to make it worse. Good night. And then
it's like he's walking out. Imogen will tell Evie, is torture not a thing most people know?
no, not really.
Oh,
Holy shit.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
What does that
Quintilius
mean?
definitely would have heard that if he chose to.
Oh my god.
Quintilius doesn't truly walk away because he's not going to leave Evie. But he's like, he made the like big movement of like, come on, we're leaving kind of movement. So like, he's like 10 feet away waiting.
Okay.
And he just lets out a sigh of like, like he's exhausted by your company kind of vibe. But yeah, he doesn't dislike you. This is his whole thing.
Yeah.
He dislikes everything.
And he was just like kind of still talking to Evie. It's like, I'm still having a hard time adapting to these things.
I mean, it's okay. It just takes some time. When you're used to one thing, it'll take some time.
The moment you see Quintilius like tilt his head, like the body language of like, fuck. And then he like turns around and he like has a very like begrudging look on his face, just okay, Imogen. Obviously, I understand you've had a complicated life. I don't mean to give you a hard time. But well, that's the closest thing you're getting to an apology. Let's go, Evie.
Yeah, but I gotta give this to Syntax.
You can give it to Syntax tomorrow. He's probably
Okay.
all drugged up.
Holy shit.
I could take it.
If you want. If you're gonna, I guess I'm walking Quintilius. So if you want to take this to Syntax, and he'll appreciate a little something.
Have fun, Imogen. Don't tell Syntax something creepy. Bye. That's a lie. Tell him something creepy. Syntax loves that shit. I mean, have you seen him?
I can't tell if you're attracted to him or repulsed by him most times.
I think it's kind of a circle, if I'm being completely honest. You know, you go so far one way, it's suddenly the other thing.
Yeah, so you're so repulsed that you're attracted, and you're so attracted you're repulsed.
Exactly. I'm glad we agree.
Now let them...
Like you and Rubina. I'm going to start running now. And then he...
Telepathic link on that shit. Don't touch it.
He's like, it was funny, as he is running.
Is he just dragging Evie along? He's like,
Yes,
okay, let's
yes,
go. Okay.
absolutely. He's like,
Oh
Evie,
my
time to go.
He's like, if you need me, if
Time to
you
go,
need me,
Evie.
let me know.
I
Holy
imagine like
shit.
Evie's like trying to fly away, but it's like a kite, like just dragging.
Yeah,
him
he's
away.
probably on like the one wing. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
Oh my
if anything happens, let me know.
Real quick, as
Just the
you-
one arm.
Yeah. As you're walking back with Quintilius, after a little bit, he will say quietly, I came up with an excuse to run into Animo because we were asked to keep an eye on him, no?
I mean, true, yeah.
And I know I'm not the best at fighting and whatnot, but he's gonna need to know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, any help is good help. And like I said, I know I'm willing. If you want some help, I'm willing to try and help a little bit. I'm sure some of the others would maybe want to help too.
I think that's a good idea, but maybe not every practice.
Yeah. Maybe just try something new every once in a while.
It's smart. Now, let's get to bed. About like another 10 minutes later, he's like, wait, why did you know we were in the Fury Gale? And then we'll just like cut out of the scene there, right? Like him asking like, so were you eavesdropping? Did you follow me? You know.
How about that?
Yeah. Imogen, do you want to drop off that thing to Syntax tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is the medical area in Central Campus. So Astrin, I'm assuming, will also be there alongside Nim, who at this point is probably pretty sound asleep. Syntax, they don't seem to really be able to do anything for your arm. But what they do recommend is removing all of the desiccated flesh. Because then at that point, you can do something with it, right? Like think of frostbite. You want to remove the part that doesn't work anymore. They've never seen an injury like this. They don't want it to spread, even though it hasn't really shown signs of spreading. But essentially they're like, can we cut this away and then heal it? They emphasize you shouldn't lose your arm, but it'll essentially look like you have a big, almost like bite out of it.
Mm. Give me a moment. No, I need another opinion on this, and I value my own first.
They're like, essentially they do the like, well, I am officially putting it on the record that I think that's a bad idea. And then they like leave, right? Like that whole like on the record, I said you should get rid of it in case it spreads, I'm not liable kind of,
Oh my god.
like kind of thing.
Syntax, do they leave the room?
I mean, yes, yeah. There's multiple
Okay,
little, think of it as like an ICU where there's different little curtained areas. Both you and Nim are in the same room, but
Fuck,
different
I have
areas.
to hear Nim being like, "What's this?" and like
Right now
random
he's
rattling
asleep,
shit.
but yes, you
Thank
do.
God.
Okay.
Okay.
They put
Syntax
you guys
is just gonna fucking reach over for some like medical tools and shit and just do his own diagnostic.
I hate that. Roll a
Fucking love that.
Holy
you know
shit.
what? Fuck it. You're prodding it. Roll an investigation. This is not
Disgusting.
medicine.
Nasty.
It is investigation. You're so right.
Yeah, it's not medicine.
Oh
You
shit! I
don't
did
know
a
what you're
digital.
doing.
19.
19.
Yeah, I'm not even that good at
You
investigation.
can say that. You can say with
Ow!
certainty.
Ow!
it's
Ow!
not,
Ow! Just that.
Yeah, you can tell like how
Okay.
deep the like desiccation goes. All of that. You also can tell that it is not going to spread.
Astrid, Syntax is just gonna call across the room, knowing Astrid is fucking over there with Nim.
There's a knife like half stuck in it. Like the scalpel, the whole scalpel blade is just sticking in. The handle's just straight up, and you're like, I don't feel it.
Oh no, calling over for a completely different reason, but is gonna do this while talking to Astrid in almost a revenge way of if I hope this makes you uncomfortable while we talk.
Incredible. You know what? Take inspiration for that bullshit. I love it.
Thanks. Take advantage for my toxic decision. Okay.
Yes, that's what inspiration is for. Toxic decisions.
Yeah, bitch, get rewarded.
I'm fucking crying.
You also haven't had enough conversation today, so I'm making you do it now.
Yeah,
It's gonna
honestly.
suck.
That's why I'm like, you're in the same room now. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you shouldn't be, but you are.
I'm just imagining the whole image.
Sitting there like a shitty hospital gown as well, like pissed.
But you've tied it, so like it still looks nice.
Oh yeah. Just wearing like fucking my like.
You like have a medical hat, like you
experiment.
made them give you a nurse's hat so that you could
Yeah.
like pin it. You took off one horn so that it could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
asymmetrical.
No.
Oh
This
my.
is fucking Nurse Ratchet style.
Holy shit.
Suddenly you come in there and it's a sexy nurse Halloween costume.
Harmony.
Yeah, that's what Astrid sees while just like fucking still poking at this.
My hands
Are you coming? I'll wait until you can calm down.
I love that this is what broke Alexa.
I know.
Right?
It's
Like not the Imogene with his head stuck in a wall.
inside the Trix yogurt.
I'm just thinking of the game night movie where something actually similar happened.
Oh my god, the squeaky toy.
What's that tapping sound? That's bone. Oh no.
Sorry, the Game Night movie is incredible if you haven't seen it. But no, it has no right being as good as it is. But as Syntax is investigating this, he calls over Astrid.
Yep. She's just gonna look over it first. Can she see him?
No, there is a curtain between you guys that the nurse has pulled. So you know where he is, but you cannot see him. So you just hear, Astrid!
Astrid, come on. Make yourself useful today.
Damn it. she'll. Is there like a curtain? You said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
She'll wander over and she'll kind of nudge open the curtain. And she just looks very dead and worn. Is the deafen thing still on? Actually.
No. He
Okay.
turned that off as soon as you were outside of earshot of the Fury Gate.
By the
Okay.
way, Jerry, you can join at any time since you're coming anyways, so please pick a moment.
The more awkward, the better.
Holy shit. No, but
Astrid.
her eyes are just red and she looks very deadened. She's not looking at you.
Dax stops what they're doing, considering you haven't answered yet, and just kind of I squint more. I really, really needed you to help after all of that.
How?
Explain the situation? Do anything?
Explain what situation? I don't know what any of this is. I just saw a tree burst out of my brother's chest and he almost died, and I don't know what happened, and there were monsters coming out of him, and you tried to kill him, and I understand why, but what do you mean?
What was all of this
explain?
once it happened? I was trying to talk about if we were going to decide if this is what we were going to say.
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Once all of this ended, I reached out to you once again, just like last time, and you disappointed me again.
How did I disappoint you? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what
I
you
called
asked
for
me
your
to do.
aid and you just were blank.
There is nothing. I don't have magic. All I have are sparkly little blades, and there's nothing.
I'm not asking for skill or prowess, I just wanted you present.
I was trying to shake Nim awake, and it wasn't working. My next choice was to run over to you.
I didn't need you to help me. Maybe I'm being selfish, and I don't understand.
I promise you, I don't know anything of what's going on with Nim.
I don't
And-
think any of us do. I just remember asking everybody what we should do. None of us knew what we were doing, that's why we were discussing it. And
Then
you
why
were
Then why is it on me to figure it out?
He's your brother. I think you should have that decision.
We only just found out about that we're related to each other. We've barely had the chance to
And
really.
you're not taking responsibility once again.
Responsibility for what?
Nim.
How?
He's not all right now, and you need to make that decision of what to do.
You think I haven't tried asking him? You think I haven't tried?
Nim,
He doesn't tell me things. He's not going to tell me things. This is still new. If he hasn't told you things, why would he tell me? He's known me even less time than he's known you.
we're on completely different chapters, so let's just stop talking about this right now.
Do you need assistance with your arm?
No. This is just another whatever this is. Shakes other arm or leg. Better me than you, I suppose.
That's bullshit.
You have opinions now?
I always have opinions. I just don't share them because it's not worth sharing.
That's bullshit.
Isn't it? My opinions don't matter, Syntax. They never have.
If I thought your opinions didn't matter and I didn't value them, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So you're going to
Well-
contribute to this fucking group, or this will be the last time we talk.
I don't know how to contribute to a group if I don't know my standing with the group.
What do you think it is? You have no idea?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Do you think we're going to turn on you? That
I
we
know-
don't trust you?
I know several don't trust me. I know I've hurt you, and you have no reason to trust me. I don't know what my standing is. I think Kay. I don't know if Kay trusts me, but I know she's asked for me to be around, but I haven't. I've been present, but not many people approach me. And I completely understand why that may be. I know my background. I know what I look like. I know I
You're
am unapproachable.
A prissy little princess.
How is that?
Because you sit here and you expect so much of other people. Please make an effort in reverse then.
I just told you I don't expect anything.
You also don't give anything.
I just told you I've been in the room. I have offered my support to Kay when she asked for my help. I have tried to help Nim. I tried to offer my support to Evie when she was upset that one time, and when after coming back from visiting her mother's.
Do you care about everyone in this group?
Very much.
Then why don't you think we care about you?
Nobody has before.
Ugh. I'm gonna regret this so much. Your father is such a terrible influence on you. You don't even know how to be a person anymore. And that's rich coming from me. You're worth loving, and you deserve and should have care and compassion, and we have all of those things for you. You're the only person who can't see that.
Do you know how many times I've offered hugs to people and comfort, and no one's offered me the same?
There's gonna be like random knockings in the hall. It's like,
Ugh.
is it this one? No, not this one. This one, no. Hey, which room? Which
You
room?
son of a bitch.
Incredible.
It's like opens the door to this one's like syntax. Yeah, you in here.
Oh my gosh.
Your comedic timing, man.
You like wake up half the people here.
You're finally making progress.
Syntax.
He'll just like won't help at all and just be like, he's gonna get here eventually. Just wait a moment.
If that's who I think it is.
And
Somebody
eventually,
crashed. Like, oh shit.
oh my goodness.
There's a muffin like, young man, what are you doing in here? It's past
We're
visitation."
over here.
Missing an arm. Oh, I think I heard him.
Oh, you're here for the. At least be quiet.
It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
There's no signs saying be quiet. Jesus.
Holy shit.
3
Imagine I'm
a.m.
over here.
3 a.m. Okay, that's a morning. People should be up.
It's true, that's when
You
I
just
wake
hear
up.
a distant, who hurt you?
Hasn't.
Yeah.
The second you like pull the little curtain to this cubby, Syntax is gonna be like, "Don't come in, I'm naked."
You just be like, is that like, come in, yes, I'm naked, or don't come in, I'm naked? Because you give mixed signals all the time.
Do you
Honestly,
stop halfway
very
through? Because I
valid.
say that while you're opening.
It's like kind of thing. Like, closes real quick.
Hang on. Okay, I have clothes on now.
Now.
God damn it.
Like, slide it on.
Yeah, like 1 second
Close it
passes.
behind them. Just be like, you're very fast at putting on clothes for personal fun.
Thank you. It's my
Astron's
special
also
talent.
just standing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, huh. You are not what I was expecting.
Me.
Yes, you. Who else? Yes. Oh no, I wasn't expecting Syntax when I was calling for him. Yes, you.
The bird's been like struggling in your hand this whole time. Like you're like death gripping the bird, and it's like, like
Before I forget, animal happens to you.
I forgot
It's
about
like
it.
It's like a little number bird thing. Here you go. It's from Animal.
it's like
Hold it
wing is
still a
bent
moment.
as you let
Yeah.
go. It like pops back up, but it looks at you with like a. It has no face, right? Like it's like an origami bird, but it has malice in its eye.
I'm
As
sorry.
it flaps on over to Syntax.
I call you so like, whoa,
You'd be
that's
like-
like there's an imaging just like having a
He's like holding it by the wings, like if it's an origami bird, right? Like
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it would just be
That's
like, sorry, I didn't think that you would have a physical form.
Oh
Uses
my
like
God.
pliers and like holds it by another wing and goes, "Oh, he left me a puzzle. Good."
it looks at you, and again, it doesn't have a face, but you sense fear.
Oh no.
Puts it in pocket for now. Folds it just in close. Bloop.
He gave me a puzzle, Squeak of Terror.
We're gonna get three
yes.
characters from Goldheart in one room together.
Oh god.
Yes, good.
It's like trembling as you put it in your pocket.
Go on. What were you expecting from Astron?
Not her to not be here.
We're talking about.
I'm wherever I want to be. You walking fossil.
But I didn't expect you to be in a school. Crook.
Why not?
Because it's not really your scene. I don't see you very prim and proper-esque in like an actual academics.
Yeah, I don't think you know me well enough to be able to call that shot, but whatever floats your
Sure.
boat.
Oh yeah, you guys haven't met each other in character
This is the
yet.
first fucking time.
No, we agreed that these characters know each other because
Yeah,
they're both
yeah.
in Coldheart
Yes,
at the
but you
very
haven't
least.
met each
Yeah,
other.
first time interacting in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Who are you calling a fossil? You're like, what, 50 times my age?
So you should respect your elders.
I mean, dragons, sure, but I don't know about you.
Meanwhile, Syntax still just has a knife sticking out of his arm. Just throwing that out there.
You want help with that, or is that like your own thing?
I was doing good and now it's stuck.
The only way you get out there is put it deep.
Do you have. Do you know how to get it out without hurting me?
Yes.
I wouldn't trust him with that if he frequently likes to bring up the idea of torturing people,
Be very
I know
gentle.
how to do it
like the
without.
stoic gladiator he is.
Holds hand out with just fucking giant. Hurry up.
I'm gonna have
All right.
you
Holy
roll
fuck.
me a strength-based medicine check.
What the fuck does that mean?
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
I do.
Okay,
Just
so
use
that means
medicine.
add your
His
proficiency
strength
bonus
is going to be fucking shit too. He's still a monk.
to... Yeah, I love it. Your proficiency bonus to your strength score. So
Okay.
you're effectively just attaching a new base ability to the medicine trait. So
Okay.
instead of it being off of wisdom, it's now off of strength. So it's strength plus your
Don't you fucking mess this up. I'll
Strength
never
roll.
trust you again.
I really
your
want you to mess it up because I know what'll happen if
Wait,
you
okay,
mess it
so I
up.
roll strength, but with the medicine bonus.
Yeah.
Yes, which should be a +3 because that's your proficiency bonus. So when you're proficient with something, you get the proficiency
Strength
bonus.
modifier plus 3.
Proficiency, yeah, strength modifier
Okay.
+3. Thank you.
Okay.
English is hard.
How'd you get it stuck?
Well, before this, Imogene's gonna be like, just in case, I need you to bite on the towel. He's gonna just kind of like put the towel like between his teeth, like open your mouth, open your
Don't
mouth.
tell anyone about this. Bites it like a fucking dog.
You act like a little thing.
Ashton just has taken a seat and is just watching.
Like I have medical professionals here.
They're gonna help after. I just don't want to be caught with this in my hand.
So
Are you
I'm just gonna
sure
roll
you
my
don't
strength,
want
and then
me
I
to
get
get
3.
And then we add 3 to it, yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see how this goes. Because there's a -1 there, so it's like a +2. So
Incredible.
what? 18? No, 17.
Oh,
Hey.
thank God.
17.
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't need to know what
You-
would have happened.
You pull it out. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt at all, which is a little alarming because you think you should be able to feel your arm, but
Oh,
yeah, nope. It feels like if someone had a plank of wood on the outside of your arm that they pulled a knife out of the plank of wood. So like
Oh,
you can feel like the vibration that something was stuck there and removed, right? But like, or you know, like you're wearing a boot and you kick something, like you can tell you hit something, but it doesn't hurt or anything.
Okay, thank you. Now I can focus back on Astrid. Astrid, it doesn't matter if Nim is unconscious or like this or not. You need to be responsible for him in times when he can't make his own decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Team's here.
I promise I am doing my best.
Okay, good.
Imogen, like, shit, I'm not sexy enough.
What the fuck?
Imogen and
No, Imogen
Nim
will go to,
totally
like,
have
Nim
a...
and just kind of like caress their face, like putting the hair out of their face.
Now is not that Nim is sleeping.
I'm not gonna do anything weird, you fucking creep.
Leave my brother alone.
You're what?
Oh, I should have mentioned that when we had our summer break.
That's my brother, Imogen.
You're what?
Jeannie, how many times do I have to say it?
I'm not the fucking genie. You fucking stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry,
He's my
inspiration to fucking Alexa for Genie.
Why Genie? It's we were.
You also have been doing lots of great character choices, but Genie is what got me.
Fair. Yes, Jeannie, this is my brother.
I'm not the fucking genie, you witch.
This is the last half of your name. Calm down.
Imagini. Oh, it's funny.
Do you not know how to spell your name?
I know how to spell my fucking name. You think I chose this fucking name?
I'm just saying. That's how nicknames are made.
Yeah, sure.
You know, we all have a lot in common, and maybe one day we can have a nice
Really?
conversation. Yes.
I've never had a nice conversation with this man, and I
Syntax
don't
is the
intend to right now.
stepmom trying to stop the step kid and the kid from fighting, and is just like so tired.
Are we done? We have to go to Quandrix next.
You
And deal with
need
that.
to recover. So unless you get to
Why-
move on, I mean, you're not really doing anything.
I mean,
Why are we going to Quandrix?
were you not there for that?
No, I have no idea what's going on.
Ah.
All of a sudden, I have Evie telling
This is
me
a
about
demon
gray
thing.
people. I have. All
We
I
have
knew
to go
that
into
happened
the
today is that we were. we were trying to follow two people, and then Evie's telling me about indivisible gray men, and
We have to find the root of corruption
haven't seen
here,
them yet.
and once we deal with that, everything will go
So-
back to normal.
Okay.
I'm calling Evie. Evie, we're
just
talking now.
got
Get
in.
over here.
Evie just got into her jammies,
Yeah.
climbing into
Yeah,
bed, sleeping
Gotta hug
maybe
her
with a
place.
night light on tonight. But other
Oh, she
than
has
that,
Mr. Inkley with her, just holding him.
Inkley.
Say- Mr. Inkley.
Now I need that drawn
The second
too.
you like put your covers up, just syntax being like, Evie, I need you here. We're talking about important stuff.
You like
Give me
just
50.
relaxed. Hold
Yeah.
on. You just relaxed. You were really stressed about the day, but like you don't really know why. You're like falling asleep. You go over, touch the sending stone, remember all of your stress, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's why I was stressed about today. And then get a message.
Give me 15.
What?
That was you. That was my Evie impersonation. Sorry.
Oh, give me 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you can hear like, give me 15. See hear the depression in her voice.
We're gonna fucking finish this conversation. You're gonna get here.
Yeah.
We're gonna be good.
That- she gets all nice proper again. Put the ear clip. Free goes.
Okay, well, if we're gonna talk about this, Evie's on her way.
Well, Evie knows about this part a bit. Animo has some knowledge on these gray creatures and the issues
Does
going
he?
on. Yes.
Hmm.
And
By the
also,
way,
apparently, he also has the mimetic thing, whatever the fuck,
Oh.
the sentence thing we have. Apparently, someone gave it to him. He mentioned a he.
He.
So
Well, that's
I don't know
pretty
a bit
much
more
half.
than what we know.
Oh, this is gonna be so easy. Let me talk to him next time. We'll have it done in a snap.
Sure, I mean, like I told him to expect the call. So that's why I'm telling you all, in case I'm not around for it, because I'm kind of restricted on certain
Animal's
things.
just gonna run whenever he sees any of you guys for like the next
No, this
month.
is perfect. He owes me. I made a new best friend for him.
oh my god.
Yes, definitely pester him for information.
Hmm. How was Quintilius?
Say, what?
You talked to Quintilius, I assume?
Yes, apparently they're for like training or something. I asked if he was a date. They said no. Quintilius scoffed, said he's a child. Quintilius is also a child. I'm not sure. He looks like a rooster with red hair.
It's not that. He's not a rooster.
No, I mean like his hair.
He's a
was, like,
peacock.
That's what I thought, but I didn't say it.
Yeah. Yes, but I said peacocks are blue, not red, because his hair was very red.
Well,
Anyways,
I
that's
mean,
not
he wears a
important.
lot of blue as well, but we're getting
I can
off
see that.
topic.
Yes, we're getting off topic.
Rooster makes sense.
They were training.
Yes, they were
That's so
training
much
because
more
of the-
disappointing than what I was hoping.
No, there's more to it. I don't know what there's more to, but I feel like there's more they're hiding. I know when someone's hiding something.
Hmm.
They're hiding a bit more details. They're telling the truth, but at the same time, not the full truth.
Fine, perfect. I know how to get that out of him as well. We have to go to Quandrix because the root of this corruption is probably it's similar to what we dealt with maybe with Silver Quill. In that we're going to have to find out where the root of this problem is, which may be the spire that's underneath there. Mavinda said it's potentially in the Arithmodrome, which is a very complex labyrinth of possibility, in a sense, spatial confusion.
So it's like
You all hello? Just like everyone went blank of like, yeah, those are words I said.
Again, it's like 3 a.m.
Sorry.
So everyone's like half asleep, but like still there.
I
I'm
know sleep is new to me,
Operating.
but
I'm operating off of 24 hours of no sleep. I'm sorry.
You're good.
maybe we should have waited on this conversation.
Evie arrives right as you say that.
Oh,
Yeah, I hear. What?
Now we
what?
have the brains.
I just explained everything that we're doing.
Oh, what are we doing?
Well,
Basically.
we're
Half
gonna
of
need to go
Evie's
to
fur.
Quandary. Yeah,
I mean, not fur feathers is like all bedhead on one side.
explain everything so everyone's caught up on everything. We know
Yeah.
about the
Can
Animo
Astrid like
thing.
can Astrid like pull Evie onto her lap?
Yes.
Just to
You
sit
pet
there.
Evie like the Mr. Evil cat.
I'm gonna fall asleep at some point doing that.
Oh,
It's like, being petted.
I'm not petting. I'm not
Where
petting. I'm
is
just
the
holding her
cat?
there.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's just like,
Well, it seems like we have a plan once everyone is healthy. Is Nim going to get better?
They did talk about it. You do know it'll take roughly 2 weeks. But it does appear that the memories are still in there. His brain just kind of got scrambled. Under their treatment, this is a kind of memory loss that they can handle, and they do know how to deal with. So he will make a full recovery, but it will take probably about 2 weeks.
There you are. Everyone will be fine at some point.
As you
Completely
say
lies
that, like
while I
an
say
inch
that.
worth of like chalky arm just falls off.
No.
Everyone will be fine. Thunk.
We'll just like pick it up and kind of like offer it back to Syntax.
Oh my God.
Why would I want that?
Fits it back into slot on arm.
No.
Imagine just put it in
Listen.
your pocket.
Give me some time to recover.
Oh my
You
God.
can keep that, I guess. Sure.
But if you don't want it, it's free to take.
Please take it.
Why would you want that?
Genie, why?
Genie.
Don't you worry.
Yes, that's
It's a
his
really
name.
cute nickname.
You can call him that now.
Shut the
He loves
fuck
it.
up.
They have a thing going. They have
Only
history.
you call me that for no fucking reason.
Genie, why don't you go chuck your bones off a bridge?
I'm gonna tell
I
Grayson
will chuck
all
you off
about
a
you
bridge,
two.
creeper.
Oh, you can. It's not going to lead anywhere.
Well, okay.
Don't let Willow Dusk know about their history. She's gonna start playing matchmaker.
Ooh, yummy, yummy.
These enemies to lovers.
I'll incinerate that tree.
Enemies to lovers. 200,000 characters.
We just hear that in the hallway.
My AO3 user handle is
Anyways,
with a love in
please.
bloom.
it's so creepy.
gravity.
Please.
It's so much worse now that I'm.
Not the AO3. Not the AO3. Absolutely horrifying. Thank you for that, Emerson.
She would have it if it existed.
I'm gonna set
She's an
termites on
admin
that
for
tree.
like an RP Discord server.
have
We
her own
know
poll.
this.
I'm setting
Kills are
termites
gonna-
on that tree.
Oh my god.
Then she'll just turn into a dragon and use the termites to fuel her spells.
I have satisfaction for a brief moment.
That is fair. I did find some artwork that's a little bit more reminiscent of Syntax's injury.
Oh shit.
At least
Oh.
when it happened.
Oof.
Kind of this color seeping out of it. But yeah.
It's not super great.
No, it's not amazing. And then it leaves it just that kind of dry, brittle, desiccated chalk look. Kind of like a lattice work matrix or so.
Hmm.
Fun stuff.
That's fun. That's fun.
Listen, let me rest a few days, and then we'll deal with this.
Sure.
Do you need anything for healing your arm?
It's already gone. Don't worry about it.
I know, but anything to add to it?
But actually, you see just Imogen kind of rummaging through his pockets. I kind of found these things on the way. And just like little gears, like paper clips and random shit.
Oh my god.
I'm sure you can have some fun with this stuff.
I can keep these?
Yes, of course. You can do whatever you want. Make a bomb, make a blade, I don't know. Whatever you want.
In the hospital wing?
I will say, it does actually feel a little bit better since that little piece fell off. Because, like, the tendons and muscles aren't, like, scraping against, like, calcified. Yeah.
Aha, gross.
So even though it's gross, it may ultimately feel more comfortable, at least, if you kind of broke off.
Listen, let's go call the doctors, the medical. We'll talk tomorrow. I should probably actually deal with this now because it is annoyingly painful. And I tried to make it seem like it wasn't that important, but we've talked now. Thank you for being here for me. I will let you know if anything weird happens with Nim. I can hear him all night, I'm sure.
He's
I'll
snoring
be back
currently.
later.
Okay.
Easy.
I'll be sure to like bring some flowers his way soon.
I think he'd like that.
The bird is, like, currently trying to wiggle free from your breast pocket.
Oh no.
Just hold on to it.
Not today, you little shit.
Imagine you'll do like a telepathic link to Astrid, and it'll be like, "Do you need anything?" I know you can hear me.
I don't know.
I can get you something if you need something.
I need my brother to be alright.
That will take time. I'm sure your recovery is very strong.
I hope you're right.
I know I'm right. I've kissed my own eye over him.
I didn't catch that last part.
I've kept my own eye over him.
And I appreciate that very much. But I still worry.
Stop staring at each other silently and get me a nurse.
I'm not staring at him at all.
Even the Alex would hop
Staring
off
at her.
and go, yeah.
I've got
Okay,
a
looking like
red
Jock,
stare
yeah.
going on.
I guess I'll go get the nurse.
Imagine
this
staring at her but doesn't realize he is. He's like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'll be back."
I'm disassociating into the wall, my guy.
The nurse does come back and she's like, "Oh, goddamn, finally." I mean, you all need to go and
Are you sure you
sleep.
don't need help?
It is
I've
past
thought about
the-
it.
It's past
And
curfew. Go.
Why do
You
I
thought
need to
about
go?
it and you want it removed, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm happy
Do you
your
need help?
second opinion looks at the 3 people standing around you. Were able to convince you.
Can I help?
No.
She looks at you with like the biggest like the fuck did you just ask look. She's like, you all need to go back to your dorms before I report you all for being out past curfew. Go. Go.
Image's gonna look at Evie. It's like,
Go.
Wait, do you have a curfew?
Go.
Can
Go.
I guess I'll...
what's a curfew?
No. Don't act dumb. She just says to Imogen, like, leave.
Imogen was just kind of like, how tall is this woman? Like, how tall is this person?
She's a tiny
Syntax
little
complete.
dwarf.
Okay, you know,
that makes so
Imogen's
much
gonna like
sense. Imogen,
crouch
no.
down,
No,
and it's
don't.
gonna be like,
But like, how do you talk to short people, Crouch?
no, I guess, yeah, you would.
Oh no!
You wouldn't know that that's rude,
Oh no!
and he's just gonna be like, I'm very like, I'm still learning things here. I am not sure what the curfew is. This is me being genuine.
Roll a persuasion check. Because the initial stance seemed very aggressive, and she didn't roll very high on interpreting that, so she
no.
may do something if you don't roll high. How many hit points do you have?
What?
Just wondering, how many hit points do you have?
Total?
Yes.
38.
Get fucked.
That might be enough. Hold on, let me.
That might be enough.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Evie was gonna offer to tell him what it was and everything.
38. Okay, let me do a quick roll.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay, you guys should be able to see this.
Jerry, why?
33. Damn, not quite enough.
Shit.
Jerry, you feel really sleepy for a moment, but not enough to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So she casts sleep on him because he was being intimidating. He's this big dragonborn who just like postured down at her. So she cast it reflexively as he's like squatting down. And then like he asks and she's like, oh shit, never mind. He wasn't being a problem. So then she like tries to play it off. Like she didn't just
Yeah,
cast
as she like tries
sleep
to play it
on
off,
him.
you just see Imogen collapse to the ground, like
he
trying to get up.
She rolled a 4 to play it off. So while Imogen
excuse
might not
me.
realize what happened, all of you guys realize what happened. And she just is like, oh, my goodness, you're so tired. You should go to bed. Curfew is, and she's like not quite making eye contact because she knows she fucked up. Curfew is a time limit after which you're not allowed to be out and about. So go to sleep, okay? Goodbye. And then she closes the curtain separating her and Syntax from the three of you. And then and she turns to Syntax.
I'm gonna need that after this.
You just hear Imogen go, I can't feel my legs.
Astronaut,
You will try to help you. Hold it.
Again, you're technically
Give my
fine.
hand up.
You're technically fine. It didn't take away any hit points.
Yeah, but you have that legs
No.
fall asleep numbness.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't feel my legs.
She'll try to pat his legs like,
You're like, oh, it's so tingly.
Astron slapping his face to be a bitch.
straight.
She hears all of this happening out there, and then just under her breath, she's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
They're gonna leave. They're gonna leave. I promise.
And then she's like, what? She's like, so tell me, I need you to count down from 10 backwards for me, okay?
Oh, simple. 10.
She casts sleep on you and
9.
you're out.
8.
You have so few
Damn.
hit points, I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
like.
Holy shit.
And she, yeah. Yeah. Welcome to nursing, where they know sleep.
Oh my
Makes so
god.
much sense.
Yeah. When you wake up, you will have a bandage wrapped around your arm. It is more ceremonial in the sense that like they used magic to close off the open wound, right? Like they healed it, but the skin is still kind of tender. So that's mainly why it's wrapped. It's just your body kind of has to get used to new area being thinner than it should be.
This sucks. You know how hard it's gonna be to make this look hot. Just says to myself.
You hear next to you, what looks hot? And then, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Nim like looks over to you and he's like, you have horns. And
You like me?
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna
I know
answer
you
that
have to
one.
wait, but I need to know next time. Syntax is fucking stupid.
Yeah, she's like, half your body's gone. Can you walk?
Life, I hate my friends. Why am I here? Burn everything down.
And with that, I think that's where we should end the session.
I do have a quick question because
Yeah,
I'm
go for
assuming
it.
was Astron able to stay with Nim, or was Astron also forced
No,
out?
Astron was forced out eventually.
How did I'm assuming if we're all walking to our dorms together, how does Astrid look on the way back towards the dorms?
Haggard.
I was gonna say hollowed, but
Or that.
or
Also,
hollow,
either.
not hollowed, like like divine, like Domine. But
Someone
but-
took a melon baller to my art.
yeah, but yeah, you could be better.
I was gonna say Evie, not sure if Astrid wants to talk. She'll put her hand like next to her leg because her hand's probably too far up, but like
Oh,
put her
Lord.
hand on her
Right
leg
in
as they're
the
walking.
back of her knee. Very
Just-
uncomfortable feeling.
Well, at least on the side. Just be like, "Hey, it's okay, or like I'm here, like, or just be like trying to be comforting.
She'll glance down at you. Just questioningly.
Are you gonna be okay?
I don't think I have an answer to that. I went Scottish, what the fuck?
I don't think I have an answer to that.
If you could change your fate, would you?
You had the chance to change your
No,
fate.
please stop. I can't remember how to do the accent now.
Would you?
It's okay if you don't have an answer, but we're here for you and them.
You're very kind, Evie. I hope you know that.
She's probably the nicest one of us.
Says Imogen while you guys are walking to Prismari, having followed you guys here instead of going to Silverquill.
With
Why
a
you over
chunk
here?
of Syntax's calcified arm in his pocket.
Yeah. He's gonna turn it into like a knucklebone die, like it's just gonna be one die, but this is the Syntax die. That's
That was
funny.
it.
I hate that.
Listen, I did that with the troll kneecap one time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Watch this like come back and be really relevant to the plot at some point that you have this.
Yeah. Hey, man, you never know.
Syntax's calcified arm is a nemetic. Who knew?
But yeah, I think that is a good place to wrap up for this evening. Next week, I will be good to run a game on the 28th, which is a week from today, our usual time, starting at 7:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And we're not standard time because we got the time change. So
I thought it was Pacific Standard Time.
we're
Daylight
not
time?
because daylight time change has happened. Pacific Standard Time is 1 hour difference because we're no longer on standard time.
Are there two different names for those then?
Yeah, PST and PDT.
I never knew about
I
that.
mean,
Alright.
it's because
Dick time.
oh my god. But like, so for example, I want to say like Chile is Pacific Standard Time, right?
Pacific Rim 3.
Oh my god.
That's all I could think of.
Fuck you, man.
No, that was actually really funny, and I'm mad. Well,
It's so stupid.
we have 8 viewers, which means we definitely
We do?
have at
Who's
least
watching
some.
this?
I have no clue,
I'm
but
not
we
watching.
we have some
Who
people
are you?
watching this, so thank you.
Whoa.
Join us next week. We are going to be probably diving into harassing Animo, as well as potentially. I'm assuming that's going to be like the whole session.
I'm gonna get it done in like 2 minutes.
I know, probably he's not good at keeping secrets. He is good at avoiding. So you can bet that if he sees you guys, he's just gonna turn around and walk the other way. But then we can potentially start diving. I'm sorry.
Mood. Same.
That just came out of nowhere. But then we can potentially dive into whatever is going on here.
Demons.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I will. We will see you. Hopefully, you will join us all again next week. We try to start at 7:30. Typically, that means 7:40.
Yeah, we
But-
try.
Yeah, at least, yeah, but we will be here. Hopefully all 4 of us will be able to play next week. Jerry?
I mean, yeah, I can.
What? In the past, Jerry has not been able to play with us that much, so the fact that he can
Yeah.
is a godsend.
Please, Jerry, we need to continue this bullshit.
Yeah, I love the
Incidentally,
Imogene Astron dynamic. But yeah. We're probably going to do a casual 2-week jump if Melody is back next week. If not, then we'll just say that whatever happens, happens during that time so that her character can be out of it. You guys are ridiculous. Until then, thank you for joining us. We are Strixhaven Ilandara. You can catch up on missed episodes on our Twitch, also on our YouTube. That is linked. Also, feel free to join our Discord. It's what we play the game out of, and you can talk with us directly. We post memes, cool artwork, and all that jazz. Yeah, we hope to see you guys again. And, oh yeah, I should do it too, right? If I had my cat, I would pull her up and make her do it, but I don't know where the little demon creature is, so that's not a cause for concern, probably. But yeah, I took a great picture of her last night.
Emerson, just fucking end
Sorry,
it.
you're right. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you
Where's
next
my stream ending
Tuesday.
button? There it is.